We break it down, we keep it going and flowing. We break it down, we keep it going and flowing. We break it down, we keep it going and flowing.
Charlestown, Malden, in the North End.
Everyone is welcome, yes, yes. Fuckery Donuts now open. J.F.K, James Jackson. Fuckery Donuts now open. Yeah, night after night. Strike after strike. We got a full flight. Let's go. What type of donuts do you like? Jelly.
My favorite.
Lemon. Ooh,
we break it down, we keep it going and flowing. Welcome to the stream. Fuckery Donuts now open. Night after night. Strike after strike. We got a full flight. Let's go. What type of donuts do you like? Jelly. My favorite. Lemon. Ooh, la la. Behave, butter caramel, loving blueberry. It was all a dream. Oh, what about Boston cream? B-Town, let's go.
If you had one word to describe Karen Reed, what would it be?
Resilient.
What about the underrated gem? Hold up, let me tell them again. If they not knowing, come again. Yup. Fuckery Donuts now open. 3 donuts, yup, 6 donuts, like Julie. Yes, how about 12 donuts? A dozen for the fam, keep the stream flowing. Everyone is welcome, yes, yes. Fuckery Donuts now open. Long gamers, let's go.
Sitting there, say, wait a minute. I could tell he was kind of put a spin to his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Is this Higgins?
I feel like both of you had that same moment.
Yeah. Right.
hold up. Let me tell them again. If they are not knowing, come again. Fuckery Donuts now open. 3 donuts, 6 donuts, like Julie. Yes. How about 12 donuts? Dozen for the fam, keep it the stream flowing. Everyone is welcome. Yes, yes.
Sit here and go, I can't believe that he's still gone.
It's crazy. I'm sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss, too.
Long game. Let's go.
Let me say that again. So in 30 years, it was the first time you heard about a cat, correct?
Right.
30 years, it was the first time you heard that Paul wore high heels at Janet's
Yes.
dress, right?
I never
And in
heard
30
that.
In 30 years, it was the first time you heard Carrie Ann call Carol.
I've never heard that either. Yeah. Those are
God
3.
damn, we worked it too on this.
We break it down, we keep it going and flowing. Welcome to the stream. Fuckery Donuts now open.
What are we doing, people?
Night after night. Strike after strike. We got a full flight. Let's go. What type of donuts do you like?
What type of donuts do you like,
Jelly.
people?
My favorite. Lemon. Ooh, la la. Ooh, behave. Butter caramel. Loving blueberry. It was all a dream. Oh, what about Boston cream? B-Town. Let's go. Ba ba ba. What about the underrated gem? Hold up, let me tell them again. If they not knowing, come again. Yup. Fuckery Donuts now open. 3 donuts, yup, 6 donuts, like Julie. Yes, how about 12 donuts? A dozen for the fam, keep the stream flowing. Everyone is welcome. Yes, yes. Fuckery Donuts now open. Long gamers. Let's go. What about the underrated gem? We break it down, we keep it.
This is a message from the flight deck. A message from the flight deck. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a carry-on, please put it up in the overhead compartments. Please do that now. And if you have a backpack, please put it up in the front seat in front of you. Make sure it's real tight because things tend to move in flight. But before you do, take out your Cliff Bars, your vapes, your nips, whatever your vice might be. Put your trays up because we're about to take you up to 39,000 feet. We got goals in different area codes, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and populate them now, and let's get the conversation moving. And turbulence in the chat keeps the plane rocking. Once again, this is a message from the flight deck, and we're expecting clear air turbulence. We got Boston Brandy. Boston Brandy, ladies and gentlemen, with us tonight. That's going to come on here, boots on the ground, and talk about what she feels and what she's going through and what she's been through. And we're going to get to know her a little bit, and we're going to go down a path, so to speak, if that's the right way of putting it. And we're going to interview her because, you know, Boston Brandy, she has a lot to say. She's been through a lot. She's seen a lot. She's been here for a long time. And I want to know what's going on and what's her mindset and her presence of mind of how things are right now in the Free Karen Reed movement going forward. And if you didn't know, to the right of me is a guy named Kevy Kev 781 on the Cash App. Kevy Kev, what up?
What up, what up, what up, people?
And to the right of him, we got Jay Brillion. What up, Jay Bro?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, chat?
We are
What
here.
up, what up?
What up, Kevy Kev?
Boston Brandy is an absolute
Here we
gem.
are.
We are here. We're back at it. We're back at it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It's an earlier flight. It's not even 10 p.m. Would you believe it? There's a lot going on, right? There's rumbling saying that Paul O'Keefe has questions. Did you hear that, Kevy Kev?
Yeah. I hear he's you know, some dust has been erupted. You know? And he might have some questions. He might want to start asking some stuff. Wouldn't you know?
But word on the street is it's for a price. Is that right, Jay Brilliant? That's what you're hearing?
That's what I'm hearing.
Does Boston Brandy got the link? Did you send it to him?
I sent it. Yes,
Good.
I sent it.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, last night we had a great night here on the J.F.K. show. We raised $3,500 between last night and today. $3,500 to Karen Reed. She woke up to a 17 black. She had a black chip in the casino on 17, and she hit 3,500. That's what it was like. 3,500 even, and she ran out the back door. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have a woman, boots on the ground. She's been speaking up. I mean, she went head to head with tuberculosis and told him where to go. And I ain't trying to make this show about this, but if you haven't seen that interview, I just want you to understand her knowledge on how things are, how she knows the law, and how she sees things. She's been on Twitter a lot lately talking about how creators shouldn't be in-house fighting. We're going to get into that. More so, we're going to get into to find out exactly who Boston Brandy is. Why does she care so much about the law? And how does it affect her? And why you should care about the law too, because it can affect you. But ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, without further ado,
Try to cancel us, say we were too good.
Boston Brandy,
Nothing
yo.
good happens after midnight. Ran good.
Here she
Hey
is.
guys, how are you?
Here we go. What up, girl?
Nothing. Can you guys hear me?
We got
Yeah, I
you,
hear you.
girl. How
You
you
can hear me.
feeling?
Okay. All right.
What's going on, girl? How you feeling?
What? I'm all nervous now. You got me all nervous. I wasn't ready for all that.
Yeah, that's all right. You know, you're here with friends. You're here with friends. It's all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Boston
Happy New
Brandy.
Year to all of you, by the way.
Happy New Year, for sure, for sure.
New Year
Yes,
already,
Happy
huh?
New Year.
Right? Yeah, we're already creeping into 2027. We're on the downslide already, even though it just started. We're gonna blink, it's gonna be 2027.
Seriously, I feel like the older I get, the faster time goes by.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Definitely.
society,
Right.
society needs a speeding ticket for sure.
If you hear
So
squeaking, it's my dog. Just FYI.
that's all right. We deal
He's
with
playing with his foot.
Kev's dogs talk Spanish.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Hi, chat.
Hey, Boston Brandy, everybody,
damn.
put your ones up if you're down with Boston Brandy. Ones up for Boston Brandy. Let's go, people.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
so Boston Brandy, where do you actually come from in Massachusetts? Like, and what's your upbringing? Was you like, why are you so interested in the law?
So I grew up in Norfolk County in Weymouth. I initially lived in Quincy, but moved to Weymouth in 3rd grade. And I just have a lot of background with corrupt people in my direct family. My stepfather was the selectman of Weymouth before it became a city, and they now have a mayor. My sister was married to Stevie Lynch, the congressman's brother-in-law. So my sister was married to his brother-in-law, who he unfortunately passed away. And it's just I never really knew about corruption until I had some issues where I had to call the police when I was younger, and they would come and say, you know, I had a daughter with an attitude like you, I might have did that too.
Oh.
And my stepfather would say to them, remember who signs your paychecks? And I didn't understand at the time. I always thought the cops were like the top dogs. I didn't know what the selectman was, even though I lived with him. And I kind of started getting into it then, just learning about how power works and how disgusting it is and how there's such a lack of oversight and procedures to hold actual power accountable. And it's so scary. It's so scary the more that you learn. And I hate it. I'm a mom now. I hate it. I am so scared for my kids. I can't get Sandra Birchmore out of my head. I just know what they do behind the scenes. I am really a big advocate. Like, I don't really say it enough where you could tell because I'm more like focused on the Karen Reed stuff, but like against sex trafficking and all that, I think that it's the biggest, most lucrative business in the entire world. And that's what, there's corruption everywhere. It's not just here. You know what I mean? Dirty cops get away with these crimes, these sex crimes, these like drugs and trafficking go hand in hand. So you got our governor dealing drugs out of the, you know, the state houses and stuff like that. It's not all by accident. It's all by design. People screw up, they get caught, but these people know about it. They know what's going on. You don't have that much cocaine going through your business without knowing about it. You know what I mean? But who's going to hold her accountable? Who's going to hold the attorney general accountable? Like none of these people are being held accountable. And then all you people, like not you people, but like, I mean, well, all these people like creators, boots on the ground, like different people, we're all fighting each other. And it's so stupid. It's such a waste of time. But it's not
about?
like some people call it drama, but you can defend yourself. I'm a big advocate of defending yourself. And if you provoke something, you should expect to have someone respond to you. So I don't know. There's just too much there's so much crime and problems in the world. I just wish more people would learn and focus on what's really important, because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. Could be tomorrow. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be safe.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. 911. Hello. Hello.
God damn.
Escalated.
Holy shit.
I just get scared. You know what I mean? People just need to be educated, and
Jesus,
I just want people to feel safe.
You're going to give me an anxiety attack on my stream. Jesus.
Listen, you already gave me one 10 minutes ago before I came on.
Holy
Don't pull away from Dallas, JFK.
God damn. Nah, discount. It's too early for the
discount. We need a doctor's note. We need a doctor's note for the next live. God damn.
I got framed by the Weymouth police. I got arrested multiple times, maybe even over a handful of times.
You was out there with the Big Dookie podcast, Chris Tash. You know him, right? From Weymouth?
Oh yeah. He's a funny dude.
Yeah, Chris Tash, and then you got who else is from Weymouth? Isn't the other rapper kid out there, the battle rapper? What's his name?
There's a bunch of them.
Maloney. What's his name? Maroney.
Hush. Oh yeah, Maroney. Yeah.
Maroney Hush. Yeah, I know all them guys.
Yeah. Angelo out in Lynn, though. He's out in Lynn.
Yeah. That's your boy, Angelo. That's my dog. I just seen Angelo on my last show. That's my boy. I forgot.
Seen him in probably 15, 20 years. He's a good dude.
Yeah, Angelo's a good dude. So
Yeah.
let me just stop you right there. What is it like living in Norfolk County for the people who don't know how it's broken down in the mass? What's the difference between Norfolk County, Suffolk County, Essex County? Is there a difference?
So I moved out of there 10 years ago, but I'm still near there. But it's all what you're seeing now. It's the blue line. It's, you respect the authority, the line of authority. If someone's higher than you, you don't ask questions type of thing. It's everywhere. It's not just Norfolk County, but Michael Morrissey has just been in power too long. And when you give someone a seat at the table like that with unlimited funds and unlimited power and no oversight, like, you know what I mean? You're asking for corruption. You're feeding it. It's disgusting that it went on for so long. Michael Morrissey has done some pretty horrible, worse than like most people know. I mean, the worst things you could do to people. And that man deserves prison. And if he ever watches this, Michael Morrissey, you deserve worse than prison. You do. And you know it.
So Norfolk County, what would you, if you could describe it into some words, what would you describe it? Can you throw some words at it so people would understand? Like, what's the climate with the people? How's the people out there? Are they racist? Is it diverse? What's it like out there in that county?
I mean, it's semi-diverse. Weymouth was a good place to grow up. I felt safe. I would go out
Can
at
I
10
ask you a
a.m.
question? Can I ask you a question,
9, but
Boston Brandy?
yeah.
Were you by the beach, kid?
I was. Why? How do you know? How do you know? N-Dub. I was N-Dub.
Yeah. All right.
Both Weymouth. But I don't know. It's pretty good. Quincy and Weymouth. I grew up in Quincy and Weymouth. I always hung out there, but I don't know. Most of my family, I lived in Southie. My dad's from Southie. He was a Boston firefighter. I lived there for a while with him. Yeah, he died on 9/11, but
what?
In 04, not in 01. So it was just weird that he died on that day. And he's actually buried he's a few headstones away from John O'Keefe.
Yeah, see,
It's so crazy.
This is
I
why
didn't realize that till last year.
What's your dad's name?
Stephen Holmes. HOLMS.
Everybody throw up the R.I.P. Stephen Holmes. Put that up right now. R.I.P. Stephen Holmes. Oh, wow, man.
Yeah.
God bless you, girl. God bless you, man. God bless Steve, man. Big Steve, the firefighter out in Southie, kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a good guy.
On 9/11, man. That's crazy. And I thank you for sharing that for sure. Thank you for sharing that. And what was the other tentacle you said? He died on 9/11. And what else did you say after that? You said something.
Oh, he's buried right near John O'Keefe.
Oh, yeah, that.
About 4 headstones away. And I didn't realize it till one day I looked to my left because I never looked to the left really. And all of a sudden I saw it and I was like, oh my God, like it stopped me dead in my tracks. Like I've been standing out for you for the past 3 years and there you are, and
so, you can't believe it. And let me tell you something, right? I don't know how much you believe in your faith or whatever, right? And I'm not trying to hit you with religion, but that's not by accident, for sure.
It made me feel good that there's a good cop up there and a good firefighter, and they were both real good men. You know what I mean? As far as I know, I never met John, but from everything I've heard from people who knew him, he just seems like he was a real good guy, and
Definitely.
my dad was too. He was always one to help people, and so it's just seeing them up there together, and it's a real nice place, so it made me feel good.
So you grew up in Weymouth. Dad was out in Southie, so you were going, you were around, you was hanging around, going back and forth. 93 late night 93 rides, and we know how we do it, and you got to be from around here to know that, people. But anyway, so now here we go. 2022 comes around, right? It hits the news waves, right? We all seen it before, TB did his due diligence and blew it up. We'll give him that for sure. He got it out there. But before he got it out there, I know I seen it on the news because it was a snowstorm. It was a blizzard. I was out there shoveling. I remember that night. I remember the plow truck kept, every time I unshoveled, he would shovel me back. Put me back in. Yeah. You know how that goes, right? But I remember seeing it on the news, right? And I'm not going to say I knew there was no details. It was no details. But I remember seeing it on the news, Boston cop dies, girl hits him. She left him in the snow. And I was thinking right from the bat that she just hit him and dragged him up the street and she just left him. I had no idea there was this. So where was you when you first heard this story? Was it like me hearing the story and just thinking she hit this dude and left him, and must have hit him hard and just left him for dead, right? Where were you when you heard that story? Was it around 2022 or was it after?
It was a little later. That wasn't right at first. I remember I saw it on the news and I was just thinking, oh, that just sucks. That really sucks. Like, it was probably a terrible accident. And it could have been any one of us. I'm not saying I've never drank and drove, because I did when I was younger, before Ubers, before Lyfts. And I thank God, like, I lucked out and never had, an unfortunate situation. But like, I just thought it was what the news reported it was, until I just started seeing it more often, things online. And I don't remember how I ended up getting to think it was suspicious. I think just talking to different people, but there was just so many things that didn't add up. And I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, I don't know. And then just on that interview where David Yannetti, I think it was on 2/2/22. I only remember because, like, I don't know, I got a thing with numbers. And
of course.
He was just saying how the thing that stuck out to me was when he said that he was already getting pressure. The DA's office was already being pressured. So who's above the DA's office? And why would they be pressuring the DA? So then I was thinking, well, maybe it's because so many cops have died. You had Chesner in Weymouth, and you had Sean Gannon down in Yarmouth or wherever it was. And you know what I mean? But I don't know. So why are they? And nobody could answer that. So it was just weird. But then you've come to find out, now we know why they were getting pressured, but.
Let me ask you this. Being in Norfolk County, is it different knowing, like, if you're in Norfolk County, say in Free Karen Reed, is it a different energy than, say, in Free Karen Reed, say in Lynn? So if I'm in Lynn, say in Free Karen Reed, I don't know. I don't know if anybody really cares like that. But in Norfolk County, it's a big thing, right? And like, what's that energy like?
Like out here in the South Shore, mostly, that you got everyone like just buying ornaments, looking at games, just everything is just, and not to make it like, it's not a joke. It's not funny. But you know what? When there's so much trauma and it goes on for 4 years, it's like people make it a part of their lives. Like we all have, you know what I mean? So it's just more interesting that like there's much more like clothing around here, and there's more people that you see out that know about it, and people's families talk about it. I don't think if I had family out there that they would know about it as much. I don't know. Maybe because it's just local to here, but it's different to me. I mean, and then you go to Canton or Dedham on the weekends on Sundays, and there's so many people beeping in Dedham, like on that highway, like it's just nonstop. So it's cool. It's a cool vibe out there. If you haven't been out there, you should get out there on a Sunday.
But should it matter? But there's no difference, right? Because it's the Commonwealth umbrella, right? It doesn't matter because we see what happened. We seen what happened up the road in Essex County to Kelsey Fitzsimmons and our guy, Francis Gigalotti. And it really doesn't make a difference whether it's Norfolk County, Suffolk County, or Essex County, because the same bullshit goes on in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Would you agree with that, Brandy?
No, I definitely do. I mean, I heard things about Joe Early and, a couple other DAs. And I think they're all in bed together. You know what I mean? I just wanted to bring up one thing. It's just about Francis Gigalotti. You made a good point on one of your streams that I heard. You said, we didn't see what happened to John. Oh, so I'm just paraphrasing. We didn't see what happened to Sandra. We didn't see what happened to Kelsey or with this situation. But we all watched it on live TV, what happened to Francis. And why is not everybody up in arms about it? Why is there not more people up in arms about it? We watched this poor man take his last breath, all of us.
The guy that's sitting right on the bottom.
That's so sad to me. That breaks my heart.
The guy on the bottom, right there with the good hairline. Lucky bastard he is, right? Lucky prick, right? Got a great hairline, this guy. Him and James Jackson got the great hairlines, right? Right. But he's the one that filmed it. He was
really?
There. Yeah.
Oh
God
I
damn.
didn't know that. I missed that part.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I recorded that whole video.
Oh my God. That's awful though.
Yeah.
And it's like these cops just, some stuff has happened to me, a few different things, but in the situations I've been in, it's like, wow, the way that they do the things that they do, they know that they're not going to get in trouble. You don't just do it accidentally or on the spur of the moment. They're doing this because they know that they're not going to get in trouble. There's knowledge that they're going to be okay. And it's like, I think we put a pretty damn good kink in it. And if we can get these people exposed through the civil trial, I think it'll be a good start to help the rest of the country. You know what I mean? And if we can all just try to remain civil, but not ignore bad behavior, but try to remain civil and respectful, then I think we could be larger and we could help more people. You know what I mean? It's just that there's so much lack of respect. Nobody respects anyone anymore. It's disgusting. I don't like it. I don't know.
Lisa McDonald coming through with a purple chip. She says Bristol County is free Karen Reed. A disclaimer. Hence the girl with the weird Fall River accent for sure. And like that. So she's out in Bristol County. So like that's the thing for the people. I'm trying to paint the picture. So you got Lisa McDonald, who's a great friend of the show, and a great friend of Karen Reed. She donated $500. She matched my $300 last night. We raised $3,500 for Karen yesterday, and it was just sporadic. And that's not my wheelhouse. I never did a fundraiser for Karen Reed because everybody was doing them. And when we first started out, like we weren't basically that accepted, right? Like by this whole thing. And now don't get me wrong, I donated lots of money to Karen Reed. That's a fact. But the fundraiser thing, I don't know if people would have took to it. Now it's all about timing, right? And it's all about, and the timing is now. I guess JFK, I guess I can do that now. I didn't know that I had that power to make things happen, or at least host it. And my long gamers and the people see what we've been talking about. And you too, don't get it twisted. That's why you're here, because you know, I love, and I don't want to be negative, right? Because hold on, they're gonna cancel me for saying we be. Hold on a second. Excuse me, everybody. We have a lot of issues with a lot of other content creators because they don't like our fitted brims and our ebonics and the way we listen to music and dance and move our head and oh, by the way, you can't stream in the garage. That is against violation 54321 of the Penal 69 chapter 17. Okay. But anyway, the point is, I don't want to put you in that pickle, so to speak, right? But you were on a live stream with a guy who did a lot for this movement, right? And that's goes without saying, right? I give him his respect, salute to him. I found out about Free Karen Reed from Mikey Jerks. The only reason why I found out, though, to be clear, is because Mikey had tuberculosis on. Since you're up here, I'm gonna call him Turtle Boy, right? Because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespectful, right? So he had Turtle Boy on his show, and I thought it was a beef right off the bat because we know the tentacles that this guy Turtle Boy's attached to, and I'm thinking, why is he even talking to this guy Mikey Crawford? These are two different people, right? And then come to find out it was this case. And that's how I got put onto it, and everything checked out when I did my due diligence. But then when the trial came up, I watched the trial like everybody else. I jumped in this. I probably jumped into this around February of 2024, and then started making content around May. Right when the trial started. Once I seen Higgins, and I started seeing the waterfall video, that true crime kangaroo. Which I always give credit to. I always give credit to True Crime Kangaroo. And she pointed out that things were a little funky in there, but she never pointed out the heel toe, which your man J.F.K. pointed out. Right now, you guys don't want to say heel toe, not you, but some people don't want to say heel toe because I called it.
Okay, hit the heel toe.
Hit the heel toe.
Hit the heel toe. Hit the heel toe.
Heel toe. Let's go. That means shit's about to go down. They hate JFK so much they won't even give me credit for that. They'll say the jig, that little jig he did. Oh, it's called the heel toe to be technical because it's a balancing technique when you fight. You know what I mean? You do that, you jump rope. Yep. It's a balancing technique to move. So if someone's coming at you, it's like, heel toe, heel toe. Wow, how's that feel? Right? And that's what type of time it looked like to me. Now I could be dead wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. And I pointed that out, and then here we are.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due.
But the point being is, I seen you on the interview with Turtle Boy, and he kept stressing to you about Karen Reed don't need money for the civil trial. She don't need money for the civil trial, and you're like, what's that got to do? I forgot exactly how you worded it, but he was like breaking down money, like if she's not looking at any time in prison, and you're like, no, but that has nothing to do with it because the civil trial,
it's not relevant. Like we need the funds to support. Like you can hide things in a criminal trial. The judge can stop you. They can stop the jurors from hearing any truth that they want to. There's all these rules of evidence. Like there's so many ways to hide the truth in the judicial process, in the criminal trial. It's disgusting. That's like, it's gross.
Yeah.
But in the civil trial, you can't hide behind the fifth. You're forced to tell the truth. There's so many different things. There's so much, like, it's just a different ball game. And this is where the accountability happens. It's like, this is where the cops are going to get punished. This is what everybody should be funding. And I can guarantee that when that person's civil trial comes around, he's going to be crying. I'm not crying, but saying the same things of how important it is. If they're still not arrested by then, hopefully they will be arrested soon.
Now that civil trial, will that help Turtle Boy's case? That civil trial?
I think it'll help a lot.
Well, let's just say Turtle Boy, God forbid, right? God forbid.
Yeah.
Let's just say Turtle Boy in December of this year, something happens, it goes bad for him, right? And I hate to say that, and I'm not saying that on no hate. So let's be clear, disclaimer.
Yeah.
He's indicted, right? And let's keep it real. People go to jail when they're faced against the charges he's faced. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. He's got a crazy Supreme team. I'm not saying that, but let's just say, right, that happened. That civil trial, if he was sitting for say he got a 5-year bid or something for it, right? That civil trial, if they got, like you said, if they unravel some things, he could use their testimony in that civil trial to get him out on an appeal for his case.
Exactly.
So it can help him in many ways, right?
Exactly. It could. It can help a lot of things. And that's what we came here for. I mean, Karen could have gave up. She could have walked away. She's free. She could have taken whatever money she had, moved away, whatever. But she wants justice for John. She lost John too. She wants her name cleared. We all do. We've been fighting for her for this long. We should want her name cleared too. Did you get in this for justice for John or didn't you? Because like I said before, that was supposed to be step one to free her. We just wasted 3 years on this stupid 2 trials. Now let's get back to that dead cop on the lawn of the other cop. Now let's get back to, accountability. Isn't that what we're here for?
Yes. But I think, go ahead. I'm going to pass it around room real quick. Kev, you want to ask the lovely Brandy anything? Are you there?
No, I mean, I agree. I think
I call you. Hello, Kevy. You there, Kev?
Yo, what up?
Go ahead, Kev. Take
no,
your
I
time,
mean, hey,
brother.
just the way you, just the way you opened it up tonight. Coming from a family with authorities that are based in your family. Your sister and how you broke that all down. I mean, I understand your drive for it, to kind of, to make a change, I mean, and bring the awareness for people that might not be able to speak on it or are afraid to speak on it, which is positive.
And I was told
Those
after
are
mine I could have a civil
positive
trial.
things.
I didn't know what it was. I wish I went through it mine. I just didn't know back then. But
Muted.
Goddamn. Nah, it's me.
Oh.
I'm good. They should just call me J Mute from now on. The heel toe changed the trajectory of the second trial. AJ, appreciate you looking out. Thank you so much, Lisa McDonald. So let's stay there for a second. So this civil case, right, is important,
J.F.K.
right?
is muted or something. I lost.
No, I think your internet is doing internet things. So you got this civil case coming up, right? And she's fighting for John. And and she didn't speak for a long time, right? Not even that long. And let me just put the perspective out there. If Karen Reed would have got found guilty back in June, she would only have 6 months in on a life bid. So I ask everybody right now, what the fuck is 6 months on a life bid? Do you think that people jumped out the window and shot themselves in the foot and made assumptions, wanting her to talk so fast? Now, what was you being a boots on the ground? You were there for Turtle Boy. You were there for Karen Reed. You were mixing it up with us, mixing it up with boots on the ground. I mean, you held it down. Every time I went down there, you were there. Did that hurt you?
I had about like 3 free hours a day. I would go down mostly from 10 to 1. If there was a later hearing, I would see if I could get a babysitter and stuff. But I mean, it's just important to be there. I just felt like if I had to hold a sign for people to sit there and like wonder, like stop and think, like there's so many people, like cars and people who walked up to us asking what we were standing there for. And the more people that were out there, the more people were interested. So it's like, we need more people. We need everybody. Everybody should be on board with this. It's just like I said on the fundraiser, it's Karen Reed's name on the docket, but it's for all of us. We
But
want
did you?
these bad
But
guys.
did you know? Did you know that? Did you know when she wasn't speaking? Was your mindset that she was fighting for John? And why do you think everybody else jumped the gun, saying that she was ungrateful? And by them saying she was ungrateful, my question is, when they were saying that, did that hurt you?
Oh yeah, it did 100%. Because one, if you're in a criminal suit, you know that the best thing, or you should know, your lawyers should be telling you that the best thing would be to keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? And her legal battle isn't over. Just because it went from criminal to civil, it doesn't matter. Her legal battle is still going on. And any single thing that any person says or types, writes, texts, anything, somebody will twist your words. They will turn it around. They will make up a narrative. They'll get everyone they know on board, and they'll build this story against you. And that's exactly what happens too many times. So the best policy is to shut the fuck up. And when people were saying that she's an asshole and she's ungrateful, what did you want? Did you want her to come out and rub your ass? What did you want? Are you serious? The trauma that this motherfucking girl, this woman went through, and you expect something
Brandy.
from her? How dare you? You are selfish. You are ignorant. And for you to expect anything from a woman who went through what she went through just makes me sick. All of you. All of you. I don't know. That just pisses me off.
You got to calm down. Once you got to calm down. We got to go up to 39,000. Hold on.
Yeah, Boston, Brandy.
Goddamn, we got to go up to 39,000 feet. Goddamn, Boston Brandy. Holy shit. You're disgusting. Chilling with 39,000 feet. Let's go. Yes, I love it. I love it. Speak your piece, girl. Speak your piece.
I don't want to be mean. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be mean. It's just something.
You're not being mean.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like people that we're mad at or don't disagree with, they're still people too. You know what I mean? And seeing anyone get ripped apart and anyone get torn apart on the internet makes me like physically sick. Like I can't stand it.
You said that. You said that. You said that to Turtle Boy too. That's one thing that you said.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. Well, I mean,
like,
I don't want to say no one deserves it. People dig their own graves, whatever they. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I don't like.
Let me say this. Let me tell you something. Right? Sometimes people mistake passion for hate. You're not hated. It's just your passion. You already knew this. You had the goggles on, and you knew that, the pivot was John O'Keefe. Everybody knew it. I knew it. Kev knew it. Jay Brilliant, James Jackson, Mikey Crawford, LTL. Everybody knew the pivot was John O'Keefe, and that was gonna take a rollout plan. And it wasn't the best aesthetic rollout plan when she just dropped the link for the fundraiser, but that's how it rolled out. Sometimes that's just the way shit goes, right? And now we're picking it up. So it's just like the fact they attacked that right off the bat, and they did this and they did. Not everything's perfect. And I use the parallel to swimming. And that's the new phase on the J.F.K. channel, the swim good parallel. Like, because sometimes you got to sacrifice form to stay above water. The currents will push and pull you under. Sometimes you got to figure out a way to stay in that pocket and just stay above. And sometimes you got to sacrifice just to stay above. And you could be the best swimmer, but the stream will take you different places, and that's life. But you got to swim good. You got to stay above. And that's all this is right now. Now we're coming back together. And I think a lot of people jumped out the window pushing these narratives, and they don't realize who they hurt, especially someone like yourself who is there every day.
I mean, I don't know. I'll keep fighting when I can for as long as I can. You know what I mean? It's a safety issue. Corruption is the biggest safety issue, whether you think so or not. You got lying officials out there, then none of us is safe. I don't know. It's just.
No, you're right.
No.
I don't know. I don't want to live on a battlefield, and I feel like everywhere is just a battlefield, and it's just terrible.
And this has been going on a long time.
Long time.
It's been going on a long time with the Commonwealth.
If you take a look,
I mean,
at this picture right here, you got Kelsey, you got Francis Gigalotti, Marquis Simmons, a new guy who just died out in South Bay House of Correction, Jacoby Kenny, and then you got Eddie O'Brien, who's been in jail for 30 years, allegedly for stabbing someone 98 times, and of course, the face of Massachusetts, Karen Reed. Tentacles, tentacles, tentacles. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just was going to speak on how this shit's been going on for so long. I mean, and when you think about what's happened in Karen's two cases, the two trials and what's been, exposed. I mean, yeah, there are state police that aren't state police no more. There's people that, you hear in there, they're getting, reprimanded or they've taken action to punish them in some type of way. But with the exposure that has been opened up, I mean, it's a fight for her because, I mean, she's going up against, the Commonwealth. I mean, it's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus her.
Yeah.
And it's ugly.
I'm gonna pull up this video real quick, Brady, and I'm gonna play it. And then after I'm done, I want you to give your honest opinion of what Karen might be going through, what she might be feeling. What do you see? What do you think her mindset is, her state of mind? Whatever you see. You're familiar with this video. You were there when she was saying it. You were present, but it's just her speaking. I'm gonna put it up, or you can speak to when you were there, actually hearing it in real time, because you had a great conversation with Karen too, and I'm proud of you. You've been holding your own for sure. You've been killing it. You've been killing it for sure. Yeah, whatever, but keep talking because you're breaking it down.
A different kind of talker.
Yeah.
People who have been the loudest about me not thanking them know exactly why I have not more publicly done so, because just like the videos you saw in court, second trial, it will be taken out of context, and I do not want another unjust criminal battle. I am sick of needing a criminal attorney in Dedham, and I've already had 2 since my acquittal, and I'm still worried. I'm worried about the players involved at the district attorney's office and their biases, and I have to be very careful how I thread needles. Please be patient with me, and there's things I want to say, and I will say them. And Nick and I have very, very big plan. We can generate some momentum and discuss the DA race. And I've heard comments I've given to Karen. She's fought her battles. She's free, and she still wants more. First of all, thank you. And if this is where you get off the train, that's fine. But for the people who have repeated the mantra, justice for John, what about this murder? We want more answers. I'm getting them. I'm battling that right now, but I can't do it without help. No one else is going to do it. I hope things change politically, and I am giddy at what that could mean. The civil battle and the lawsuits are still part of getting justice. People have no idea, what we were prohibited from doing and saying and showing. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. We need more sunlight. Now we get to play offense. I need help. And to win this, I now have 3 concurrent civil trial tracks. I have Plymouth State, Bristol State, state cases, and now federal. You saw what it took to win a trial with 2 sides. Now I've got trials with 2 sides in 3 different forums. It's not, my insurance company's attorneys cannot digest all this. It's like drinking water from a fire hose. It's bigger than any, it's bigger than any one lawyer. It's actually bigger than any one firm.
It's so sad.
And you were there for that. You were there. You were talking to her. You know, you broke it down. You know, you got it off your chest, man. You've been wanting to tell her what you were feeling, which was great. I loved every minute of it. But that clip right there, you know, when she came in and she goes, "That's what I'm trying to do. Like, what do you think I'm doing? Like, I'm trying to fight for John O'Keefe. Did we forget about that part? The part when she said that, you know, she got 3 different courts that she got to go through, and it's like drinking water from a fire hose.
Yeah.
So you were present during that, or what was the state of mind were you thinking when she said that? And after you watched it after, like, what is she going through right there? Like, from a woman to woman, can you describe it for us or paint the picture a little bit?
I mean, I don't think she ever got to grieve. I think that she's very determined, in my opinion. I mean, nobody comes out of this unchanged. She's walking through like an alternate reality, in my opinion. Like, when you're fighting the government and just going up against people who have unlimited funds, it just feels like a never ending, like, I don't know how strong she just is. So strong, in my opinion, because I don't know many humans that could go through what she is going through and without giving up. And I just feel so heartbroken for her. You know what I mean? She has no choice but to really keep going if she wants to have a future without so many people doubting her. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people are always going to call her what they're calling her now until she gives the, you know, absolute final blow.
Let me stop there. What are they calling her right now for the people in the back? What are they calling her?
I mean, things like Killer Karen and the C word and just, you know, ungrateful. And she didn't ask for none of this. She's not selfish. She's a victim. And why are we victim blaming anyone? And I mean, no, none of you calling her things could handle half of what she's handled. So shut up. I don't know. I think she's.
No, it's no, I don't know. Keep talking. Keep going.
Her fight.
I feel bad. Like, I feel
you
like
don't have to feel bad. Listen.
You're on the right. Hey, you're on the right channel.
I know.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know how
Scarface said in 1995. I don't know. I think it was Man Cry. Never seen a man cry till you see the man die. Oh, maybe it was Smile with Tupac. And he said, "I often think about saving everyone, but I'm a dreamer." Like, you know. And then Nipsey said it, and so did in Beanie. Listen, everybody can't go, and you can't save everyone. So you don't have to feel bad. These people did what they did. They acted the way they acted. You talked about this. So let me just rewind a little bit. Brandy stated that she got caught up in Weymouth. They tried to set her up. You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
So there was a girl from Weymouth who I guess apparently didn't like me, and I didn't know why. One day I looked out my boyfriend's window and I saw her hanging out of the side of a car window keying my car. So I ran down the stairs, got in my car, chased that car. They end up getting stuck in 5 o'clock traffic. I jump out of the car, did whatever I did, you know.
Allegedly.
Well, I know, I admitted it. I did what I did. She deserved it. I slapped her friend in the driver's seat. I actually went through the driver's seat because and I slapped the driver on the way out because you drove her to do it. You drove her there to do it. So you deserve to slap her. I was just angry enough. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You know what I mean? But anyways, after that, I kept trying to find out why she didn't like me, because now you have a reason to, but you didn't then. You know what I mean? But come to find out, she was the chief of police's family, and She every time I would drive to work, so she lived on a main road, she would call the police and I would get a witness intimidation charge. I had a few of them. And I said, officer, how else would you like me to get to work? He said, find another route. I said, I would have to go through East Weymouth, get to Quint, you know what I mean? And he's like, do it. I don't care. Okay. And then I was, before I knew about, don't come out of your house, all this stuff, I was young. I didn't know much about the law. 2 detectives came to my house in an unmarked car. They told me they wanted to talk to me about something, to come outside. I said, okay. They put the cuffs on me and arrested me for assault and battery. I didn't assault anyone. No, this wasn't the time I slapped her. This was a different time, right? So I was like, I just came from tanning. And he's like, I don't care. Come to find out, my sister ended up fighting her sister, whatever. And it was
you was tanning, kid?
Yeah, I was tanning way back then.
Yeah,
but I
no,
the
yeah.
owner of the tanning salon come and testify at a trial for me. My sister went and told the cops it wasn't her, it was me. And they still didn't care. They just wanted me, and they kept arresting me. And you know what I mean? And I was I ended up winning in the end. I beat them. And I never got in trouble for slapping her because, I think I took whatever I got for slapping her. But the amount of shit they put me through for years after that, for years, the cops and stuff, just because of who didn't like me, was just ridiculous. But in the end, I was found not guilty on a bunch of stuff, the witness intimidation. The assault. My sister took the probation, but then they told me I could have went to like a civil trial. I could have sued the cops and all this. But I didn't want to. I had been going to court for 3.5 years. I lost my job because I had to go to so many court dates. I was done with court. I never knew that the civil trial was about accountability. I thought it was just for money. Keep your money. I don't want it. I got a new job and I'm happy. You know what I mean? Little did I know that these cops could have got in trouble. Well, karma came a while later. The police ended up getting caught in some prostitution ring with the cops or something. So, I mean, they got their karma, and a lot of bad things happen to them after. I don't wish that on people, but I mean, you dig your own grave. You take actions, and you know what I mean? Stuff's going to come back to you.
It all comes around full circle at some point.
So to put this into perspective, the reason why we went forward to go back a little bit, and we played the Karen video, and I asked you what she was going through, and you said she was so strong, is because you went through going to court. That pressure on your back. Every day you got to be there at 9 a.m. If you're there at 9:05, they can hold you in contempt, or they put you on for second call, and now you wait until 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and they play with you, and then you show up to court, they continue it, and then it's just this game, and you're just under it, and it mentally breaks you down. And that was for a case that even if you would have got any time, it wouldn't have been a life bid. And here she is going through it twice. So you know what it's like. And you know what it's like to be in the scope, because now the cops know they got you on a case. So now they're driving around your neighborhood more. Now they're pulling you over more. They're trying to get you more cases. And now you're in the scope, and everywhere you go, you look and turn, there they are, asking you questions, fucking with you, basically, because they know you have an open case. And now you know what it was like to be in the scope. Just imagine being Karen Reed, who's exposing an ATF agent, Big Bad Brian A., his boy Chris Albert. I mean, she's exposing all these people, right, to the state police down the line. Think about the scope and the nervousness that she must be. So that's the reason why, to go back, you were so disgusted, because I went through the same shit. Kev been through the same shit. Jay Brilliant been through the same shit. So when everybody jumped out the window as if when she got found not guilty, that whole experience just goes away. It doesn't. It stays with you, and that's the reason why you're so passionate.
Yeah, so I get so angry, and I try I'm not like that anymore. I would never slap anyone now. You know what I mean? I used to react. I used to be the person that always defended people because I know what it's like. And unless you've been bullied and beaten and been through the ringer, you don't know it. You've been through the system. You know how it works. You know how probation works. You know how the game works. You try to educate people and they just don't, it'll go over their head. And I feel like people don't get it because they haven't been through it. And I don't know. So I try to have some grace there. But I also, I love people like, when this whole Karen Reed thing started and all these attorneys that jumped on and started educating us and going through the motions and teaching us things, like that's what I wish everyone would do. Mechanics, attorneys, anyone that has a skill that you can share with the world, why not help people? Life is so expensive. Life is so depressing. Life is so hard. And if you can do some little thing for free while you're cooking dinner to help someone else, why not do it? Why not help someone instead of hurt someone? Why do you have to destroy souls? Like, this is what breaks my heart about
Why do you think people do that?
Yeah, I don't, because they have their own internal problems that they won't address or accept. And
Do you just think some people are just scumbags and that's it?
some people are. Some people have just things, unresolved issues, or it's just, it could be different for so many reasons. There's so many reasons. Some people are just psychopaths. Some people will never learn, but there are some people that just hurt people because they're hurt, and it's not an excuse. You know what I mean? Especially if you're an adult, you should take accountability for what you do. You should tell yourself the truth. You should stop hiding behind fake accounts. Be an adult. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stand these people with the fake accounts. Like, grow a set already. Like, you are such a coward. The minute you press create, you are a coward. Sorry.
Oh no, for sure, for
I'm
sure.
trying to be kind. I'm trying to be nice.
No, you don't need to be kind to people who are weirdos, because you don't know who these people are. You don't know if they're level 3 sex offenders. You don't know
Right.
where they come from, and they get mad when you say that. Like, as if, like, little Ralphie from Dallas, he got mad because one of our boys, Loco, said, "Hey, I think this guy might be a level 3 sex offender. Why is he hiding behind a mask?" And it's like, hey, who knows? I don't know. Maybe he is. We don't know enough. If you're gonna come out and talk about all of us, maybe you're this. Because the bottom line is this, Brandy, when you fake moves, right? When you fake moves, there's plenty of room for assumptions. And that's what that is. That's faking a move. When people enable sucker shit, right? That's just not cool from where I'm from. And I've seen a lot of that. People enabling people to talk and go crazy on Karen without even putting the perspective into what you just said of how the courts will wear you down. And guess what? The reason why you are the way you are, Brady, is so passionate, because once that shit is activated, you can't turn that shit off.
I know. Trauma is a real thing. You know what I mean? It sits with you. It sits in your body, and certain things will set it off. You can get rid of it. You can calm it. You can forget about it for a while, but there's always something that's going to remind you. You know what I mean? And if it's something you can help change so someone else doesn't go through it, it's worth doing. I don't know.
So now you're a mother now. You have kids. You've been doing you and Russ holding it down. Our boy Russ. Shout out Russ. I don't know
Ross.
where you are. Ross. Well, I'm saying Russ. Oh, my bad. I'm thinking the rapper Russ. My bad. Ross. Hey, that's a compliment, my brother.
I say he's Ross. I'm boss.
Yeah. Ross, my man Ross. My bad. Ross, is he back there? Ross, is that you?
He's upstairs.
Yeah. Ross is probably watching like these bastards. But he's a great guy. So you have kids now, and like the system, right? Like, it's very important to parent your kids, right? And like the system that we came up in, I turned 18 years old. My mother was like, "Hey, you're 18 now, beat it." Do you feel that's the way to treat these kids now? Like, so what I'm trying to say is, like, at 18 to like 25, isn't that the most time the kid needs parenting? I mean, they need parenting all the time, but isn't that a very serious time? And like, we grew up in the era where it was like, go play in the schoolyard, and the kid got to buy in, right? Because the system, as what we were talking about, they feed the kids to the court system. You know what I mean? A kid messes up, they got to go to court because they're skipping school, and now they get put on the chins, and the next thing you know, they get handcuffed, then they go to a DYS, and then one of the staff members might restrain the kid because he doesn't want to watch the news, and then you lose a kid, right? So parenting is real important, right? So do you think, like, when the kid's 18 to like 25, do you think that parenting is real important at that age?
I mean, back in the day, it was like, you can live here till you're 18. Like you said, everyone moved out when they're 18. I think the system's designed like that because that's when you're vulnerable. You're getting out of school. You have either college debt or you're in college. You're still a kid. I mean, 18, 19, you're still a teen. You're a teenager. I don't care if the law says you're an adult, you're still young. And even up till, I don't know, your late 20s, you're still making decisions then that you would never make in your 40s. And like, the other thing that kind of made me sad not to bring it up, but like, to bring up people's pasts, if you have a past, like, you're not the same person you were 20 years ago. None of us are. None of us are. There's some things that, like, you just grow up, you evolve. Most people do. But to throw anything in someone's face, it's just degrading. Like, you can have a disagreement without, like, demolishing someone. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't see how we're going to get anywhere doing that to people. But going back to the kids, I mostly do this because of my kids. The hugest corruption in my life was in the Canton probate court that I've been dealing with the last 15 years. And I tell my kids that they can get married and still live in my house. Your kids, my grandkids gonna live here. Your husband's gonna live here. Like, I don't want my kids to have to leave.
They're not leaving. They're not leaving. And you know what? They ain't leaving. They ain't leaving. And in the words of Mikey Crawford, they ain't crying. Oh no.
I'm like, please never leave me. I don't know. It's going to be hard for me. I cry all the time.
But that's why you do it, right?
Day.
Because the kids, right? The cycle, you look at, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm trying to bring up these points, right? And I know I might be going around the block a little bit, but I'm trying to bring up these points because you're a parent and I'm a parent and I'm just as passionate as you, because it ain't about me. It's about the kids. Like you said, their freedoms. Like they have no idea if they get caught up in the scope, how quick you could just get caught up in the system and be caught up in it. I mean, look at Eddie O'Brien, 15 years old, got accused of a crime. Got found guilty of a crime. Let's be clear. He got found guilty and he's been jailed for 30 years. Now we're starting to get leadway and people in this chat are saying free Eddie, but that would have never happened if there wasn't Karen Reed.
And that's what the internet's good for too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a tool. And that's what I'm saying. I think that we need to realize that's
use
what's
these
sad.
tools for good, not for bad. Like, come
that's
on,
the deal. That's why it's
need help.
that's why it's so eventually. That's why it's so sad, because it's this generation, this movement, or this thing of ours, whatever you want to say. Everybody's 35 and up, and they're the ones using it for bad things. And it's like we should have the know-how to know it's a tool. We shouldn't even, like you said, fake accounts and throwing people's past out there and being vile and calling Peg, see you next Tuesday, and all these different things. I mean, I just don't understand where that gets us, period. And but like you said, I love the fact that you said, I love the fact that you said, about the school system and how, the kids,
it's designed like that.
Designed like that. Yeah,
it is. The system, all the systems, all the three-letter mafias, the CIA, the FBI, the DTA, all of them, DCF, they're all designed to keep us controlled, not to help us. They don't give you stuff like, oh, I get food stamps or whatever you get. It's not there to help. It's keeping you controlled. They don't give you enough so you can elevate yourself and you can save and you can move out of the situation you live in. They give you just enough so you can just stay poor. You know what I mean? It's just like all these systems, and it's all about money. If you can't pay, they're going to throw you in jail. They're like, it's a never ending system that we're never going to beat if we don't all come together. My thing is, I want to tell people to stop paying their taxes. Why are we funding this twice? We're funding it unintentional, I don't want to pay my taxes, but they're taking it anyways. And then I do donate to Karen, so I'm paying for this twice. You know what I mean? Because I'm paying the cops to commit the crimes. And what are you doing with my taxes anyway? Every single politician, they should have to prove that there's no corruption before you take the taxes from me, because I will pay for your help, your support, your services, your protection, but I'm not going to keep paying for you to kill my neighbors and to kill my kids. It's disgusting, and we shouldn't have to. And that's what our taxes are going towards. Killings. We're funding these people to kill us. And it's just like, why? If we all stop paying our taxes, and I know some financial advisors will probably say, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't see any other way that we're going to I don't know.
Now you're looking for solutions. And to your point, like with the kids, the kids don't understand, you got to buy in. When you're 15 years old, you got to buy into this, and stay locked in. You got to stay a kid as long as you can.
Yes.
If your mom's going to let you stay in the house until you're 25, I mean, and that's, and to segue into the reason why I bring that up, because Karen is living with her parents now, right? And she stayed with her parents, and they never looked at that as being weird, right? Like some people would say, because, that was the narrative too. Why would she call her father at 1 a.m. at that time? And all these different things. Yeah. But hey, that's not weird if you're looking at it the way we're talking about it, because the streets are evil, man, and the streets don't care. And the most retroest thing is not an Air Jordan. The most retroest thing is not an Air Jordan. Oh no, it's not a snapback. No, it's not a Celtics jersey from 78. It's a motherfucking casket. You live and you die. Point blank, period. right? The jails are old. It's going to be an old law. It's going to be an old judge that's going to bridge the gap to the old to the youth. That's a fact, because these kids don't get it when they're cuffed and stuffed, right? They're going to be cuffed up to a 50. Yeah, they're going to be cuffed up next to a 50-year-old. So they don't understand. They're more old school than they think. Like when they fly to Miami, they think Miami's like great. Miami's old and beat up. You know what I'm saying? And the airplane they flew down there on was a 1992. You know, and it's just like, because, you know, it's big business. In big business, some things don't change, because if the money been coming in for generations, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And take a look at it. Air Jordans still making money. We ain't going to change it. We'll change the colorways. The airplanes, we ain't going to change them. We'll just throw some new engines on them. Caskets, why make them any better? They're selling like crazy. It's just certain things don't change. The jail system, the court system is never going to change. You're up against it. It's like being in the casino. You're already up against the powers. You're already losing right when you step in there. They're going to throw you a green sheet and make you cop a plea and catch you up. But
prison's a different story. I think that's why they're all so, I mean, people say, look at the free Karen Reed people. They're all falling apart. They're fighting each other. Look at us. We're still, you know, united, the anti, whatever. You're united because you know how bad it's going to be when you get to prison. You know, if one mistake, one fuck up happens, that all your stories are not going to line up. And it's just like a waiting game. And I feel, honestly, I do feel bad. Sometimes I just feel bad because I know deep down they're all terrified. They're gut wrenching, like panic sickened, because they know what's coming. And that's a sad way to live. It's really sad. It's heartbreaking, because some of them were just protecting their family. They didn't do the actual crime, you know, and they just kicked in being a mom or a sister or a cousin, whatever. But you know what? You did what you did. You dug your own grave. You could have told the truth. You could have called 911. But I don't know. They just know that the system is it's a lot different in there for people who hurt women and children. But I mean, for cops who do this, it's, you know, I don't know.
Oh, it's going to be a tough
bad news in there.
Yeah.
And it's a death sentence for some.
This is where they really fucked up. They really fucked up because now it's going to be a federal offense. And, you know, the feds are going to come in and it's going to be a federal penitentiary. And, you know, it's going to be a little bit different than pens, because now you're dealing with all people from all over. You're not dealing with Massachusetts people who you might know somebody, you might get a pass in a certain jail. You ain't getting no passes in the Fed. Isn't that right, Kevin from South Boston? Hey, do me a favor, Kev. Can you ask Kev a question? I mean, ask Kevin from South Boston a question. Let him know if he's all caught up.
Kevin from Southie, you all caught up?
God damn.
I would never want you mad at me, Kevin. I'm scared.
God damn.
So what do you feel about Chris? So Chris Albert, right? They didn't talk through the whole trial. Now he goes on to Spaces, right? Randomly pops his head out, goes on to Spaces and talk about this. People are going against TB, and they're getting, we're getting weaker. He's getting stronger. Like, what was that all about? Like, what do you read into that? Why would he say that? Like, and what would you tell him today if you could talk to him right now? What would you, from them comments, what would your rebuttal be?
I mean, you just on the air laughed at a man's life getting threatened, or I didn't hear the whole thing. I only saw the clips on Twitter, but they were talking about torturing him and setting up batteries, right? Like, that's disgusting. I don't care how bad someone else is. You're talking about that. You're threatening it and you're promising it. Why are those people not in cuffs right now? Why don't they have charges right now? As fast as they slap the cuffs on with everyone else, like the Canton 9, the Aiden, all of them. Like, I mean, sent them, like, you know what I mean? What do you mean?
Summons.
In the mail.
Yeah, they could send a summons.
This guy hasn't even gotten, nothing has happened to them, and it's a recording. It's like, it's your voice clear as day. And this dude just, like I said, he sits on the select board. He doesn't show up half the time. He's a loser. He's a killer. He's killed before. His son is an alleged killer. They're not good people. The clock's ticking. The time's almost up, and they know it. So I think they're just unraveling.
Do you agree with them that they're getting stronger and we're getting weaker?
No, God, no. God,
hell no. Hell no.
Hell no. Just because no.
Yeah, and well, you know why? Because let me tell you why, right? Regardless of what happens in this thing of ours, whether we're there's in-house fighting, whether you see some words being said, what never changes is the story on 1/29/2022, Chris A. And the fact is this, dude, are you watching? Y'all caught up, Chris A? You're a pizza man. You manhandled an ATF agent. You were the last one out the door. Your wife Julie was in the Walgreens parking lot. 6 donuts. You remember that? You want me to keep going? Your wife Julie was in the parking lot 4:55 a.m. She got a phone call from Jen McCabe. Allegedly, she answered it. They said she didn't. Jen said they didn't answer it. Jen said she called Julie up to see if John walked home with you. Well, that's a motherfucking lie, isn't it, Chris? Because guess what? Jen said she was looking out the window, and Jen was on the phone with John, the last one on the phone with him, and knew he was there. They seen him was there. So why would she hang up with Karen to call you, Julie, to see if you walked home, if Chris walked home, excuse me, if John walked home with Chris? And allegedly you never picked up Julie. Okay, maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't. But the problem is at 8:30 that morning, you showed up to the house. Isn't that right, Kevy Kev 781 with the Cash App?
That's right.
You showed up to the house. And that's your best friend, right? That's your best friend, right? So you went to Dunkin' Donuts. You didn't get 1 donut, right? You didn't get 2. How many donuts did they get, Kev?
She got.
Goddamn, Kevy, you
a
killed
dozen.
my promo.
6, right?
I still don't think they're donuts. I think
Come on, Kevy, slacking, bro.
Hold on a
God
minute.
damn, is there a
Let me call in my replacement.
Is there a jelly?
I need a new co-host. God damn. But
everyone they said wasn't in the house was in the house. John was in the house. Colin was in the house, and Chris was in the house.
Peep game. 6. She shows up with 6 donuts, right?
Yeah.
She shows up with 6 donuts because it's a ritual, right? But when she shows up, her best friend, she got a missed call at 4:55 a.m. on a Saturday morning from her. After the night before, they was at the bar. I don't care if she went home or not. Her son is calling. Jen McCabe's daughter is what's her name again? Allie. They hang out. You show up to the house. You notice her truck's in the goddamn driveway, right? So the first thing you do, you got a missed call from your best friend. The first thing you do is just open up a car door with snow on it, stick 6 donuts in it, and start walking away. But as you're walking away, someone goes, "Ooh, ooh," and it was, who was that? Kev, are you still there?
Big bad Brian A.
Big bad Brian A. And what did he say to Julie?
He said, "Hey, come on in. I want to talk to you."
So Julie walks in the house, and who did she see?
She seen her best friend.
She seen Higgins.
Everybody.
She seen Jen McCabe. She seen the wife, Big Bad Brian A's wife. Everybody's there. Maddie M on the backup. And what's going on, guys? Like, what's happening here? What's going on? Holy shit. We found John on the lawn. And what did she say?
John who?
John who? Oh. And what do you say, Kevy?
How many fucking Johns do you know?
She had the windshield wipers on at 4:55 in the morning, right, Julie? You were the one that was going to pull up. There was that window of opportunity, 11:45 to 7:45 a.m. is the night shift over there in Canton. And you were going to show up, right? You were going to be the one to find John, right? But then when Karen called up Jen and said, "I don't know where she is. Where John is," and then realized she didn't remember anything and said, "Let me hang up with you and see if he walked home with Chris." And she said, "Listen, stand down. I'm going to say to Karen that, maybe something happened because she's blacked out drunk. She's done." Right. And the biggest mistake that happened that night, right, was not hooking up with Jen. That was a big mistake. But the biggest mistake was that Jen called John's niece back, and John's niece passed the phone to Karen, and Karen took it. If Karen would have never took that phone call, she would have never picked. They never would have hooked up. They never would have went down there, and this would have never happened because they put it all up in her head. But you, at 4:55, I truly believe you were going to come through and make up this donut story, and you were going to find John because they needed to find him by 7:45 a.m. because that's why Higgins went to the police station to see who was working because they didn't want any old cops to roll up. They wanted to control the situation. That's what went down. So let me tell you something, Chris A. Are you all caught up? Are you all caught up? The windshield wipers in the parking lot? Because who shoveled your wife out? Huh? And then she went to Dunkin' Donuts in a blizzard? Huh? Oh, you don't need to worry about a blizzard if you're sitting in the Walgreens parking lot with your fucking defrost on and the heat blasting. A snowstorm storm means nothing. The best way to beat a snowstorm is to stay in it the whole time in your whip. Just stay in it. You'll go right through that shit. All-wheel drive. What are we talking about here? Right? So that's what it is, Chris. I don't care how strong you think you are in 2026 because you woke up and had a fucking energy drink. Congratulations. We don't care about 2026. We care about 129, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So you're weak. Congratulations. God damn. Let me call James Jackson. James, you there, buddy?
God damn.
Yeah, it's a wild time, man. This story, man, they're going down for sure, you know. And so back to what Karen said, she said she's giddy for the new DA because who's the new DA? You can fill us in on that if he gets elected.
Is it Adam Deitch or Deitch? How do you say it? Deitch?
I something like that, but I know you.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the only option. I mean, he's the first. He just constantly talks about the biggest problem we have, and if somebody's willing and ready and wanting to talk about that, I think he's the only option. And like I said, I'm just about safety, and I feel like he would be the best option for safety. And I feel like he'll reopen the case. I feel like he'll do the right thing. And I don't know. I just feel like that's where my faith lies, is in that. You know what I mean? Just getting the right people in. Morrissey only has a little bit of time left. Chris is going to be out soon. We got the new police chief in Canton. It's like things are looking better. 2026 is already looking better. And, and we gotta stay focused, because all these bad cops are just laughing at us. And instead of us fighting, going back and forth of who said what, why don't you send out a FOIA request? Why don't you go knock on someone's door? Why don't you do something that's beneficial to the case or beneficial to all of us, instead of going back? I don't know. It's just how I feel. It's just my opinion, but not saying that you shouldn't defend yourself, because if somebody does say something, I think you should always defend yourself. But after a week or two, you know what I mean? Like, get back to what matters, because if they just get away with it, every day that we fight someone else is a day lost that we could be exposing something that they're up to. You know what I mean?
To speak what you just said about like just stopping the fight. And the thing is with that is I don't think people realize on the internet that, they chalk it up to, oh, it's just the internet. When you say things like, hey, your fitted brim and you're the W word, and you start saying racist undertones, we're all learning on the job. These things are not good looks. You're not a good person if you think that. So, and and back to the generational curses that we speak on about the system and the corruption. You're part of that wheel. You're part of that wheel. And then you're just pulling your own card, because I can't trust you at that point. If your mindset is if someone looks a certain way, or if they're on drugs, or they're in a different position of you, then they deserve what they're getting. Because if Karen Reed had a police record, would this be a thing? You know what I mean? Like if she had two OUIs on the records, would we be judging her more? And then the segue into Kelsey Fitzsimmons, like she's the perfect replace the face. You had Karen Reed. Now let's just replace the face, because she never been arrested. She was a cop. She was a correctional officer. It's perfect. But what about Francis Gigalotti?
Exactly.
He doesn't fit that bill, right? No one wanted to talk because he had a hat like me. Because what he did what he do? He popped a couple pills before he went out that day. Who gives a fuck? We seen what happened, and y'all backstepped. So I don't want to hear about the justice. These are just factual. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, who's watching. You don't have to like me, but don't be a contrarian, because a contrarian just will always just be a spectacle and say dumb shit, because you run out of logic and you'll take a shot. But the only way you can, and when I say son, I mean check a contrarian, is by fact checking them. So here's a fact. All right, that what we've been seeing, we're all learning on the job. The things that are being said, we're all learning.
You always want to defend yourself, because
you got to defend yourself, because these people are not good people. What they're saying, and they need and the only way we get past it is by them learning from it. If they're not going to learn from it, then fuck them.
Yep.
Point blank, period. And that's what we learn from this. So I don't think it's drama. I think it's a learning experience. It's a learning curve. And that's where I'm at with it. Now, I get it. Some of it could be mistaken and looked as drama, just like your passion when you came in hot could be mistaken as, oh, she's hating or she's mean. Nah, like we're all learning on the job. And let me tell you, you think for 1 minute when people discredit us, that's what they try to do. They discredit us. They say, oh, the J.F.K. channel, they listen to music. All they did was go over the waterfall. There was so much more to the case. Well, what I want to know is what's more to the case and the fact of solving John O'Keefe's murder. What's more? Now, as far as getting Karen not guilty, yeah, there was more to the case, more experts and things like that. My thing was never that. My thing was always, look at this. Look at them people right there. They did this. So which means is she didn't. It's as simple as that. So that's the case to me. And that's always going to be the case, whether you like it or not. And that's the reason why Higgins called my phone, because he knew that's the type of time I was on. He felt my passion, and he said, damn, these dudes ain't going to give up. 10 years are going to go by.
He knew he could sense that you were onto something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because nobody else was talking about it. Nobody knew
Yeah.
that John was about to go into a house that he knew he was going to get in a fight in.
I mean, that's the last time. That's the last time we seen him. That's the only video we got. Like when you spoke on Francis Gigalotti, we didn't see what happened to John. But that right there is the most that you're going to see what happened to John, and you could tell there was aggression, and then there was an ATF agent that texted him at 12:20. You come in here, point blank, period. There's your case.
Exactly.
And why is Jen calling him so many times? It's not your boyfriend. Like, what if he decided last minute just to go home with Karen? You're obsessively calling him and then butt dialing him and hanging up before the voicemail picks up. Come on. There's just so many things that don't add up. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. We all know you're lying. Knock it off. Come on.
And just to go back to like the credibility they try to knock based on the way we dress or the way we talk or how we go about things and how we create on our channel and how we go about talking to people, and they say their guys don't do nothing, they did nothing, they're this. When you're killing our credibility and you go to Twitter and you say vile things like JFK lives in his car, JFK's washed up, he's this, he's that. Let's just say I met somebody, and I did. I got a piece of paper in my pocket right here, right, with a name on it, right? And let's just say this name of this person, right, is big time, right? In the true crime, got like 5 million subs. He's a behavioral expert. Him and like 5 dudes, and I ran into him. And he's like, I got a YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I do this. And I said, oh, yeah, what's the name of it? He goes, here, let me write it down. And here's my number. Give me a call. Let's talk. I like this Eddie O'Brien thing you're talking about. So I'm thinking the dude got a channel like me. Man, let's just say this dude's doing big shit. Right?
Oh,
so here's the point. If he goes to Twitter right now and Google's JFK show off, to JFK show off, right? You just took that opportunity out of my mouth, because all you guys are saying that I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
I'm no good. James Jackson's on crack. James Jackson murdered his girlfriend. You're saying all these crazy fucking things that ain't true. If you don't like me, I don't care. You can say you don't like me. You can say you don't like my hat. That's fine. But don't discredit what I did for this movement, what I pointed out, my passion, and what I'm doing here tonight. I brought Boston Brandy with me.
God
damn. Because
I mean, it's easier said than done. I don't mean to say anything about you, because it's like I can say it, but at the same time, when he came at me, I was ready to go right away. You know what I mean? And I'm glad he didn't take me up that morning. He said, I don't have time. We'll do it another time, because I got to calm down. But like with you, you do it as a living, or I don't know if you do, honestly, but it's part of your income. Any of you that have,
it's a different stream of income.
That's a creator. It's different, because you do, like you said, you want to clear your name, because you could have a big opportunity. Now, who knows that these people are going to do their homework?
I mean,
we got Vinny online and ruin it, and it's
exactly.
Awful.
And the fact that they say, well, this is the internet. It's got nothing to do with real life.
It's not
got
real life.
everything.
It is real life.
It's got everything to do with it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we got to stop that shit. That vile, because you just want to, because then you just are trying to make excuses for your racist undertones and your fuckery. You want to make excuses because you don't want to take accountability.
Right.
That's just the fact.
Not the real world, but it actually is, because there's court documents using Twitter screenshots, and there's feelings being hurt and lives being ruined and embarrassing things happening. It is real life. It is a dangerous tool, and it is real life. Stop saying it's not. Just stop the bad behavior altogether. Grow up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I always say this, right? And how long was you a turtle rider for? A long time?
A year and a half, 2 years maybe.
Oh, that's it. So, but I always say this: the 2020 Turtle Boy would write a blog on the 2025 Turtle Boy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? He would be all over him for his.
Well, it used to be that because I heard about him. Actually, I heard about him through my cousin, because he had wrote something about one of my cousins before he had passed away, and I didn't think it was bad, because honestly, I was like, whatever he wrote about my cousin was true. You know what I mean? So I used to, when I first started reading about him and stuff, I'm like, well, everything he's writing is true, you know, and if you live in that lifestyle, you're getting shamed, you know, and I didn't know better because when I first started watching him, when he was going through the trial stuff, I'm like, well, every week he's coming with new facts and new things. And oh my God, this cop and that cop. And I'm like, well, you know, he got me. And he always was right. And he was always so like,
he
he
turned the
always wanted to
corner.
be
He turned the
sure
corner.
about
He was
something, you know, but then it
he
turned
was-
into, I'm just going to do this and trash. And I the biggest thing with a lot of these creators are, oh, subscribers and this, but guess what? If you want to bring them down, then unsubscribe and stop watching. I know it's hard. It does take a while because you want to know what's going on, but do you really that bad? Or do you want these people to lose what they have? Because if you want them to lose what they have and they're not taking accountability for themselves, then unsubscribe and stop watching, because that's going to hit them where it hurts. If that's all they want, then that's how, but you know what? It's like, I don't want to hurt people, but also you did a lot of damage to a lot of people. And it's just really sad. You can't go back. You can't sit there and tell people to self-harm and not think that it's going to go well for you in the end. I mean, karma might be slow, but.
Well, karma is your conscience. And believe me, he's thinking about that every day. His little voice in the back of his head is talking to him. And God, you know, listen, man, God, I mean, like I said, just you know, just be a better man, you know, and you, what you do is in the public. So therefore, we need public apologies. That's just my opinion. And I think, you know, if we get a sincere public apology, you know, maybe we could turn the corner. But other than that, you know,
a public
like
thing. He doesn't want to.
You got to stop. You got to turn the corner. Like these undertones and saying things and calling, see you next Tuesdays. And with that being said. So we got Peg, right? And I always was the one to say, if we get someone from that family to say, I have questions, maybe we could turn the tide. Recently, you just put up a post of Paul O'Keefe talking about he knows a couple of things. Can you speak to that, or do you want to speak to that?
So there's not much I can really say that I know. It was just a post that I had seen and decided to share. I thought it was kind of odd that they were sharing the woman's name was on it, who was talking about John or JJ being her best friend. And it's just, I've seen multiple things confirming the same story about how he was vomiting and convulsing and this and that. And it's just, there's a lot of people that they've been threatened. There's a lot of things that are going on in Canton that people don't know about. Broken windows, spitting in people's faces, calling them up, saying, you know, keep it up, that you're going to find a bullet in your head. It's real scary stuff. These people are literally, they're dangerous people. They're the most dangerous people. And a lot of people are too afraid to speak up. They're hoping and praying that the civil case brings out what they don't have to. You know what I mean? And it's just like, knowing that these people are going through what they're going through.
There was something about Paul O'Keefe, right? Was it something about
Paul O'Keefe? Yeah. So I heard that he was, I mean, he's all about the money. He's always been all about the money, right? A couple lawsuits. And so I heard. I don't know the man. You know what I mean? But I heard he might talk soon for whatever reasons. But also I can't confirm that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It would be beneficial for them too. But like Peggy O'Keefe's like an old Dorchester lady. She's like my mother. They're stuck in their ways. You could give her a video of Karen not doing it and she still won't believe it. I feel like, you know what I mean? Some of those ladies are like that. They don't want to believe it, but you know what I mean? Because in the future, when they do find out the truth, those poor kids, they're going to be so hurt that all these people put them through these lies and the betrayal they're going to feel. It's just going to be heartbreak.
And they lost Karen
all over again. They lost Karen. They're going to be so mad. And it's just like, I can't believe you're doing this to these people. And the O'Keefes, they're not like, they were manipulated too. Like you can't blame them. They were thrown into it too. They were jumped on from the get-go. They were lied to. And once you get it in someone's head, it's hard not to think it. And
can I stop you real quick?
Yeah,
so you're saying that he's all about the no, it's all no, it's all good. I love it. Listen, Brandy, you know it's all
I need Dennis Sweeney. He always tells me to shut up.
Yeah. Brandy, you're killing it right now. Don't worry about it, man. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. Right? I want to stay to what we heard about Paul. I think that's important. So because we were talking behind stage, and I just want to add to it if I can. So Paul O'Keefe is saying that he knows what happened to his brother. That's what you wrote, or is that what the tweet was about, or whatever it was?
It was something to do with that.
Let me ask Jay Brill. Jay Brill got all. Yeah. Jay Brill is probably in Canton right now. Jay Brill, what's going on with this Paul tweet?
You want me to read it to you?
No, just tell me. Can you just break down the summation of it? Like, just tell me what it's about, basically.
It says that he wants to go public for money, and about what the people did to his brother.
But he wants money.
Yeah.
So now the first initial thing we would say is that's some scumbag shit, right?
Yeah,
but
that's
me and
some
Kevy
sketchy
Kev,
shit.
but me and Kevy Kev, we get a little deep. Me and Kevy Kev, you know, we swim, but Kevy Kev's a scuba diver. So Kevy
Goddamn.
Kev went down real quick, man, and talked to a couple of tiger sharks and a couple of orcas, and he came back up with a theory. His whole life is fucked up, right? He went through that thing with his wife Erin, right?
Oh yeah.
Kevy
Yeah, I mean,
Kev?
he went through, there was, I believe I remember hearing within the first trial or the second trial, but there was always some tension between the family and him anyways. He has this, this issue in court with this out-of-state woman who was exposed. He was exposed over it.
And keep it, and I hate to say it, right? You know, TB exposed it, right? And keep in mind, all these people, right? More so, they're gunning for Karen because they want to. Not only do they want to prove Karen wrong, they want to destroy TB, right? They don't want him to win,
exactly.
Right? So now, if this guy's in this position to say, "I know what happened, and I'm going to turn on them all," where does he go? Where does he get money? His wife is going to be like, "You bum ass dude, you're siding with that clown who tore this family apart."
Yeah, his parents.
Right?
Yeah,
so
his
he's like, "Yo, give
probably,
me." Sorry, Kev. Sorry.
No, his parents are probably the same way. They're probably like, "Hey, what the fuck? During the trial, you got this little fling going on. You're ruining your family. You're done. Fucking go worry about your own family, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You're done. You're shut off with us. And what happens?
I mean, I would have respect for him if he did come forward. I mean,
and what happens if he goes up against the Alberts or
right?
I mean, he's gonna need some money. They're gonna sue him.
Yeah,
they're gonna come right after him. So,
well, where's he gonna go though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he can't live with his wife anymore. The cost of living is crazy. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, he would have to be financed. And keep in mind, guess whose pockets he's clocking? He's watching TB every night. Oh, let me read this turtle chat. Okay, Mikey just sent 300 and said, "I love you, TB." So he's like, "Okay, you want me to be on your side? Send me some of that turtle chat money." And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that if you look at it from that lens, maybe that's the reason why he might have said it. I'm just trying to understand. That's all. Trying to get an understanding.
But you know what? Him looking for money. To bear some truth behind what happened to his brother, to get justice for John. I mean, you know what kind of
your glasses just fall on your face and I'll touch them?
Yeah, goddamn.
That was the most gay. Hold on a minute.
Clip that, clip that.
Hold on a minute.
That was dope, huh? God damn.
Break it down, we keep it going and flowing. Welcome to the stream. Fuckery donuts now open. Night after night. Strike after strike. We got a full flight. Let's go. What type of donuts do you like? Jelly, my favorite. Lemon, ooh la la. Ooh, behave. Buttercream, loving. Blueberry, it was all a dream. Oh, what about Boston cream? B-Town, let's go. What about the underrated gem? Hold up, let me tell them again. They not knowing. Come again, yup. Fuckery donuts now open. 3 donuts, 6 donuts, like Julie. Yes, how about 12 donuts? A dozen for the fam, keep the stream flowing. Everyone is welcome. Yes, yes. Fuckery donuts now open. Lawn gamers! Let's go! What about the underrated gym?
Fuckery Donuts is officially open for sure. So, Boston Brandy, do you want to say anything to the chat in closing before we let you go? I appreciate you taking your time to bless us with your presence, and you need to come up more often when we go over to some other stuff. I say I'm going to start going over some of the I'm going to do some fundraisers and probably pick one of these characters, their trial or whatever it might be, in trial, and just go over their testimony, and I could sure use you up here to have fun picking them apart, because I'm sure we did that about 1,000 times already, but why not do it some more, right? But if you have anything to say in closing, go ahead.
I mean, no, thank you. I appreciate you guys inviting me on. You guys are a little late for me. My bedtime's like 7 p.m., but
we'll do it earlier for sure.
No, I'm just kidding. For you guys, I would. No, I mean, I appreciate you coming on here, letting me rant, let me vent. I just feel like it's important that we could try to just, redirect our focus as much as we can. But like I said, it's sometimes it's necessary to fight back. But I just hope everyone stays safe. Just try to be kind. That's all. Drink water.
Drink water. You want to say anything, Kevy Kev to Brandy?
I just appreciate you coming up here and speaking on this stuff.
Thank you.
It's good to just bring this awareness up, and
yeah, definitely.
It's a good backstory, and we see you out there,
Thank you. We're all a team. We're all in this together. You know what I mean?
What up, Jay bro? You got something to say?
I just want to thank you for coming out. You're an extremely smart woman. Keep up the good fight.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boston Brandy. We'll catch you next time, Boston Brandy. All right? We'll see you down the road, girl.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peace. Wonderful. Oh, we just lost Kevy. Sorry, Kev.
God damn,
Kev. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show. Wonderful. She gets you amped up. I was getting amped. She just that's contagious. I'm like, I'm ready to fight with her and shit.
Yeah.
But
it's great.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay Brill, for making that happen, putting the pieces together, getting that together.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it's about. It's about just coming on these streams and just jumping in the water, man, taking a swim. And you just never know where you're going to end up, where the current's going to take you. And we definitely came up with some good questions. We kind of got a backstory of her, what she'd been through. She lived in Norfolk County, and her passion for Karen. And she was one of us that knew that this was going to take some type of time. And now here we are. We get all that. We're not going to do Pac-Man credits. Who knew what? Who been through this? Now we're here. Karen's like, I'm fighting for John. I want to start exposing these fools. I want to put them on the ropes. And you know what? I'm down to fight with her.
And that's big, because when you think about it, I mean, the stuff that got exposed, to get her where she is today, this is the stuff that's gonna really stick against these people that were involved. I mean, her case, her 2 trials have compiled the rest of the fight. This fight ain't over.
Nope. Another Bristol County girl for justice for Karen Reed and John O'Keefe with a weird New Bedford accent across the Braga Bridge. Hey, Brandy, welcome. Donnie Not Wahlberg comes through with 20. Hey, happy to see Boston Brandy. Team Karen Forever, thank you for being so strong for all of us. It's going to take a big team to fight this. $9.99. Brandy is a real one. That was from Titty Ruxpin. Oh, goddamn. God damn. I ran right into that one. Boston Brandy, such a strong and courageous woman. But are you afraid of being a target? Both the McAlbers and the police for your advocacy? Boston Brandy, check that out. Are you afraid to be a target? Maria wants to know. She was out there, man, yelling at these cops. I seen her. Right after Karen said you lost on Howie's show, the shit started flying. Just imagine a statement, we're walking the walk next to you. We got you and you're not alone. Thank you. Sherry D, educate our youth civil class as a requirement in the school system. Chris, once again, coming through with 5 J.F.K. memberships. And if you're down with J.F.K., go right now and give some membership.
Static Selector.
Yeah, we all reppin' for Boston, Mass. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history, homie. We all reppin' for Boston, Mass. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history, homie.
It's crazy. The Celtics are on fire. They beat the Bulls today 115-101. I mean, they are just killing it. I'm glad you got your phone antenna back for sure. Thank you.
Oh yeah, what happened? What was the
Yeah, we had to find that. That
God
was
damn.
Little man took that for a little walk.
God damn.
Maybe he can live stream out his car. Yeah, right. Super sticker 199. Becky gifted 1 JFK membership, and Chris again with 5 JFK memberships. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, bro. He's holding it down. All green in the chat. Hashtag AGE. Yeah, we learned a lot for sure. And we also learned something about the Eddie O'Brien case, too.
Oh, yeah.
We learned about some tentacles attached to that.
Definitely.
You know, it's funny because in this video right here, in the new intro.
Here and go. I can't.
Correct? Say that again. So in 30 years, it was the first time you heard about a cat, correct?
Right.
Sorry, guys. That
Does it for the fam, keep it the stream flowing. Everyone is welcome. Yes, yes. Woo!
Sit here and go. I can't believe that he's still gone.
It's crazy. Sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss too.
And that's Francis Gigalotti, his aunt right there. We're in Haverhill. We're talking to Francis Gigalotti's wife. And this is back to the credibility. I wouldn't have known Jay Brilliant if I didn't go out to Haverhill and Jay didn't start watching the show and seeing, you know, real recognizes real. And our show helped him get through it. I'm not even on no simping Monday shit. You know, he hit me up and he said, hey, your show's helping me get through and understand what the hell went on with Jigga because, you know, it's
You're
a tough
telling what I really told.
Go ahead, tell
you,
him. You tell him. You said at first you didn't want to talk about it.
Right. When I first reached out to you, I was worried. You know, I didn't want what happened to the other kid.
Yeah.
That happened to me.
Yeah. So
you know,
but
I also told you you're like a therapist that I don't have to pay for. That was my exact words.
Appreciate that. Yeah, and keep in mind, Jay Brilliant been shot before, and he didn't want to get shot again, and by the police because he was going up against the police. So I didn't mean to cut him off. I know that gets on so many people's nerves.
No, you're good.
They
You're
get so
good.
mad.
I said what I wanted to say.
Yeah, and we unlocked the cheat code. We unlocked the character. Now Jay Brilliant's on the panel. Would you believe it? God damn.
God damn.
He was
And
behind
I'm
the
proud to
scenes.
be here with you guys.
Yeah, man, we're happy to have you, man. Great addition, you know. But this right here was a huge moment, you know, and people don't understand, like walking into this park and keep in mind, Kev interviewed Jigga's mother on the live stream. I was home. Kev did the due diligence, drove out there by himself and walked right up into this crowd, right, Kevy? It's tough. Like on a standout, you're walking into these people you don't even know.
Yep. I got embraced, I'll tell you, from the show. There was people there that recognized me and they approached me, you know, which you know, that's how we unfolded it that day. You know what I mean? They were happy that somebody was there representing, you know, this show and standing up for Francis Gigalotti.
Good night, Terry. talking to his mother. What was your, if you could go back in hindsight real quick, and speak
Man,
to
you
that?
know, I'll tell you this now. This was the first time that Francis's mom spoke publicly, or to really, any kind of in any kind of reporting sense, or she never talked to any news broadcasters. This was her first time speaking, and knowing from talking to the family that, for weeks, maybe close to a month, that she was, she had never seen the video of Francis.
Nope.
She never seen that video of his last call outs, listening to him, hearing his voice, and when I interviewed her to find out that the last time she seen her son, he had stopped by to check on her and gather a little list of things that she needs so he could end up going back to her the following day, or a couple days later, and get her some bare necessities that she might have needed for around the house. And her visit was just like any other visit with him. It was just he loved his mother, and that was the last thing that she remembered. And at this point, when she spoke to us, she wanted answers. She wanted justice for her son, her firstborn. Now to put a little backstory on.
Oh, this is so sad. If you're gonna
Mrs.
go where I think you're gonna go.
I am. I'm gonna go there. Francis had siblings, and he had lost his brother. I want to say, you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 10 or 14 years prior.
Yep, 10 years, brother.
And they were up.
No, it was longer than that. They found them. Didn't they find them?
Oh
10
yeah,
years
they
after?
found.
I think it happened in 17. I think.
No, I think it happened. I think it happened in 2011, and then they found them in 2016. Yeah, so
that's
it was like 15 years, like a little. It was a long time ago. Put it that way.
They were at a family gathering that they kind of like a family gathering that they would normally have, and was up on a lake, and he ended up drowning.
Disclaimer: it wasn't a lake; it was the ocean, Plymouth.
He ended up drowning, and his body was never recovered at that time. It was just another. I don't want to say it, but it was just another stop sign for this woman. Another, just no answers, no. Her son wasn't laid to rest. You know what I mean? It was just a big question mark on what happened. Where is he? Then years later, Francis had a sister. She was struck by a car, and that person that struck her never stopped, never took accountability, and she had passed. Now her firstborn, the oldest, Francis. This happens to Francis. So she's lost,
all three of her kids.
All three of her kids. Just tragic for her, and it seems like she's never got answers for any of it.
For none of them.
He
gets swept out to sea. 10 years go by. He gets found. Just DNA, basically. Like, I don't know what they found, but obviously it wasn't much, right? And then his sister in Methuen gets dragged up the street by a drunk from a, I don't know if they were drunk, but one can assume, but hit and run, never got answers for that. And the same thing happens to Jigga. The cops kill him right in front of right in front of our faces, and nothing's going on with that. Help. Help. And listen, disclaimer, I'm gonna put something up on the screen right now. And if you guys can't stomach it and you don't want to watch it, Jay Brill, if you want to take a 5-minute break, because I know you don't like watching this, but I'm gonna put that footage up on the screen real quick because I used to play it a lot and I don't really play it that much no more because it sucks. But I'm gonna put it up tonight. We got 600 people in the chat. We're talking corruption. We have Boston Brandy up here. But I'm gonna put that up right quick. And I know this bothers you.
No, you're good, bro. I'm good.
But yeah, so anybody that don't want to see this for whatever reason, just give us about 2 minutes, please. So this is Jigga running. We're gonna do a full breakdown again of this whole video again. I think we need to do it, right, Kevy?
Yeah.
The whole video.
Yep.
Because we did it before. We need to do it again. We need to stay on it like we did with the waterfall. And maybe when we do the fundraiser for Karen or something, we'll play this video and put up a link for his GoFundMe too. And try to...
that boy. You heard? Be easy with that boy because he got issues. Be easy with that boy.
You said you know. You said you know. He's screaming help.
Make sure you be easy with that boy. You heard? Help! I don't think it takes all you guys to hold homeboy down though.
There he is, right? And I just want to try to find something real quick. I think that's I need to find, and I'm sorry that I got that still image up there. Sorry, people. But I'm going to try to find something that a friend of the Free Karen Reed movement, what he said, what he's seen. I'm going to play a soundbite of the Vegas cop Brian. What he said he's seen. This is what he says.
As soon as that last happened, they should have rolled. Everybody get the fuck off this guy. He's not a threat. Roll him the fuck over and get him sitting up. Get the fuck off this guy. He's not a threat. Roll him the fuck over and get him sitting up.
He's what?
But they didn't hear that. And all 7 of them are in trouble.
They are all 7 of them are in trouble.
Because somebody should have seen that. You don't even have to be a cop to see that. As a human being, if a guy's turning purple and yelling for help, there's a problem. Right, people? You don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure that out.
That was the Vegas cop. Police officer. You heard what he said. This is a cop saying that, ladies and gentlemen. You talk about the credibility of the JFK show. I'm bringing the facts. You don't like us? That's cool. But this is a fact. Francis Gigalotti got killed by the police in Haverhill, Massachusetts, the same county that you're fighting for Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
They're doing her dirty and same lawyer.
Same lawyer. Tentacles, the tentacles, the tentacles.
Listen, you know something that bothers me about this whole shit, why it's taking so long? When I talked to the detective from the DA's office, I gave him the video, and as I was leaving him, he said the worst thing that any cop can ever say to somebody, especially a witness that just witnessed someone dying like that. That dude told me pretty much that it was okay because he was a drug addict. And I told that cop, I said, I don't give a fuck what he was on. No one deserves to die that way. Nobody. And that was the last time I heard anything from anybody.
And thanks for sharing that. Shout out Becca and her mom, Auntie. I don't know where she been. Becca popped in last night, I think, during the fundraiser. But we're going to get Becca back up here. We're going to talk to Becca some more. And we're not done with the Francis case. We're not done. You know, Francis is always up. I want people to understand, anytime I put this graphic up, Francis is right there, man. He's always on the front page. He's in the new intro. He's right there. You got Kelsey. You got Francis, R.I.P. You got Marquis Simmons, because I don't want to honor Miles King. He's a fucking part of my language. That's my New Year resolution, to stop swearing, but Jesus, trying to catch it. But Miles King is the real victim. Marquis Simmons is the real victim. Miles King is a guy who's going to get out for murder based on Proctor and Lally and the tentacles at Norfolk County. And Scapiccio, a great lawyer, but who's taken advantage to expose the corruption in the long run, but to sacrifice Marquis Simmons. Yeah, in the long run, it would definitely expose corruption. Marquis Simmons will play a part in that, but his parents ain't going to like that. Then Jacoby Kenny, he had a police record. He was in jail for a bunch of stuff. I don't know if he was found guilty on it. If he had, I don't know how bad his record is. I really don't know too much about that case. There's really not much information. I'm going to have to dig a little deeper into Jacoby and find out if he had some mental health issues. But we do have a person from South Bay, House of Correction, that did speak to what happened to Jacoby. And I have to take this guy's word for it, because I don't see the guy lying. I've been to South Bay. They were beating people up for years. They would put you in the elevator and they would bundle you. They would because the elevator didn't have a camera in it, and they would mess you up. So Jacoby Kenny is the gentleman, the bigger graphic, right below Eddie O'Brien, the 15-year-old 1997 Eddie O'Brien, not the 2026 45-year-old Eddie O'Brien. But this is what they said in South Bay House of Correction, one of the witnesses of the death of Jacoby Kenny.
Keep your eyes open.
They slapped him in the face. And so then the policeman started chasing him around the unit, and he couldn't catch him. He was zigzagging. So then two other police officers joined, and the three tackled him. But they couldn't hold him back either. So there was like three of them. He was breaking free from. So four more jumped on him, and they just fucking beat him to death right in front of me, right in front of my cell. What? So I saw the whole fucking thing. Just fucking strangled him to death.
Damn.
Yeah. Turned into a fucking, it's gonna be a riot here.
He said there should be a riot here, but there's not, because you're accustomed. It's all about obeying. It's to parallel it to this whole movement. There's certain people are in charge and certain people just obey. You know, they should have said, we ain't going out for chow. We're going to flood out, riot, throw shit off. Hey, that's not the right thing, JFK. It's wrong. Well, listen, what are they going to do? Put you in jail when you're already in jail? Did you ever hear that one?
I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets carried.
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets.
Clown! You are a clown!
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets.
Clown!
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets.
Clown!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we exposed corruption. We actually exposed this. R.I.P. Francis Gigalotti, James Jackson, J.F.K, Kevy Kev, Jay Brilliant. R.I.P. Jigga, the man right there that's in the green. We also exposed some situations, 30 years of a court case of Eddie O'Brien. We exposed some things, and we talked to Margot Nash, a woman who wrote a book called Politics of Murder. You guys can check that out and break down the whole story. It's a great read. You want to read something, read that. You like true crime, read that. You like true crime, subscribe to JFK. You don't even have to subscribe. Just make sure you're here.
Let me tell you, man. I mean, and even, some recent stuff with, with the Eddie O'Brien case that, I don't know whether you want to speak on it or throw a little,
We're gonna speak on that next episode with we'll keep that for the Eddie Pot 37 or whatever. But I will speak on this
38.
and 38. I will speak on this right here. Let me say that again. So in 30 years, it was the first time you heard about a cat, correct?
Right.
In 30 years, it was the first time you heard that Paul wore high heels in Janet's dress,
Yes.
right?
I never
And in
heard
30
that.
in 30 years, it was the first time you heard Carrie Ann call Carol.
I've never heard that either. Yeah. Those are
God
three.
damn it, we working too on this. In 30 years. Let me say that again. So in 30 years, it was the first time you heard about a cat, correct? 30 years, you never heard about a cat. Adi mentioned the cat. 30 years go by, the Eddie O'Brien case. These are all things that could get Eddie O'Brien out of jail. You want to talk about exposing corruption, how things ages. We exposed this. 30 years, Margot Nash, a lawyer, an established lawyer. She never heard it.
Right.
30 years, it was the first time you heard that Paul wore high heels in Janet's dress, right? Now, Paul, high heels and a dress, wearing his mother's dress. We're talking about Paul Downing. Keep in mind, this case is all built on rage and a personal type of murder, if that makes any sense. A bra was stabbed 36 times. We found out by interviewing people, interviewing a woman named Colleen. Isn't that right, Jay Brill?
Yes.
Her name was Colleen, right? Or Cassandra?
Yes, sir.
Was it
Yep.
Colleen? It was called. We interviewed her, and she said that Paul used to come downstairs in his mother's dress and high heels, and Janet used to react, right, Kev?
Oh yeah, she used to tell him to take that shit off.
Yeah.
So in 30 years, she never heard this, but she heard it from the J.F.K. channel. What else didn't you hear, Margot?
I never heard that.
In 30 years, it was the first time you heard Carrie Ann call Carol.
I've never heard that either. Yeah.
And she never heard that Carrie Ann is the one who called Carol Downing, who allegedly called Adi, who was driving to drop a fare off at South Station. It called up the dispatch to turn around and come back to Somerville, and that's how he ended up back in the scene. But Carrie Ann didn't live in the house, so how did Carrie Ann know what happened to Janet? So she never heard that. No one knew how Carol found out. Now you find out it's Carrie Ann, but what we found out through Margot Nash, we found out Carrie Ann used to be with a gentleman named Marty Landry. So if you ain't watching the Eddie O'Brien part 1 to 36 we're at right now, right? We're creeping on to part 37. If you're not watching, do yourself a favor, get connected. We are your hookup. We are your plug. But the problem is you're gonna have to see fitted brims. You might see funny sunglasses. Now we added gold chains to it, and you're gonna hear Tupac songs. Oh, Adi Ortiz is in the chat, just like that. Bingo, like magic. We mention anything about the case, Adi appears. The same guy.
Yes, sir.
The same guy, and you guys want to know who he is. Now, we got nothing against Adi personally, but if you're a newcomer to the channel, Adi is a guy that Eddie O'Brien, Big Ed O'Brien, and his lovely wife Trisha said on October 1st.
Lying. But what does that mean? 2 police officers get up there and lie on the stand. They gave a black eye to every good policeman in this state. And they should be ashamed of themselves to put a 15-year-old kid away for life. But it's not over.
Now, what you're watching right now, you're watching time traveling back 30 years. We just took you back into time. We have a DeLorean parked outside, and we wore fitted brims to the past.
Adi!
Oh.
Adi, you all caught up?
God damn. And they wrote this trial for a sexual obsession. 30 years. This is Big Ed O'Brien and his lovely wife Trisha outside the courthouse on October 1st, 1997, after their 17-year-old son at the time gets found convicted of murder and gets life in prison. And this is who they say did it. The person on the screen that you see right here that says, "Yep." Listen to the name they dropped 30 years ago.
We got the appeal, and I'm telling you right now, I will die before my son spends any more time in jail than he has to after this.
the evil little man of Mr. Riley get on that stand and rip my son apart?
Patricia,
no.
beyond the question of whether Eddie should testify, I just want, it's been more than 2 years, your reaction.
Adi Ortez murdered Janet Downing.
Adi Ortez killed Janet Downing, the same guy who's at the bottom of the screen. Would you believe it? They said that 30 years ago, and he's in the chat 30 years later. He hasn't went anywhere, huh, Kevin?
No, he hasn't left. He hasn't left. He showed up the summer of 1995, and he hasn't fucking left.
One of the first ones on the scene.
And he lied to us, too.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? What did he do? He failed what, Kevy Kev?
He failed our lie detector test. Shit was some fucked up shit. But hey, 30 years you've been playing fucking games.
The game's about to be over soon.
Justice, man. Justice. It was one thing that Janet said. Investigate, investigate, investigate.
That's what she said.
That's what we're doing.
She said investigate. She said these 3 words right here.
You look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
If you look at the evidence, you'll see the truth. In the words of Eddie O'Brien, if you look at the evidence, you will see the truth. Adi, what's up, man? You got anything to say? You want to call us tonight? You want to talk? You want to talk? You want to be in the chat? You may as well talk to us. You want to talk about Marty Landry? For the 5 goals we didn't hit before the timer ran out. Another great show. I'm ready to vote Brandy into office. Awesome. Adi, did you hear the song from Loco? He got a song for you.
God damn.
You guys, I don't play it. I don't play it that much, but I'll play it tonight. You guys want to hear it?
God damn.
You guys,
yeah, I want to hear it.
Do you guys want me to put this on Bandcamp? So you guys can check it out. Oh, man. This is Adi. Don't know Marty. You sure about that, Adi? You want to hear the song from Loco? Adi, check it out, man. If you think it's a good song. It's called All Caught Up by. It's called You're All Caught Up, Adi.
Party.
Check it out. It's dedicated to
You all
you.
caught up. Why did you lie? You're a third party culprit. It all happened in July of 95. Come on, come on.
Adi.
It is sad, nobody heard the screams. You went in a house on a murder scene.
All caught up.
Artie, what about the key? Why was you on Boston Street? Sounds suspect to me.
You all caught up.
You lied about the kitten, said we had the wrong dude. Said you went in the house for dog food. Then you lied again, said that wasn't true. Went in the next day for a kitty litter box. Artie, was it you? You all caught up. Artie, was it you? 98 times did you do this crime? Why do you constantly lie? Come on, come on. Artie, you all caught up.
Yes.
Yes. Your cat was on Hamlet Street, parked the wrong way. Nobody had a cat. You're on social media all day, always in the chat. The DNA don't match. Sorry, Artie, that is a fact. Let's compare it to yours and see what comes back.
Tick tock.
What about the dog, Artie? You never mentioned the dog. Nobody had a cat. You all caught up. There's a lot to unpack. You all caught up. Time will tell. Tables will turn. Your life in a cell. What about the son? Mother's dressed in high heels.
What?
Did you know? How did his mother feel? Let's go. Artie. How did his mother feel?
Let's go. You are caught.
Never mention the pup. Kitty litter box system is corrupt. Long gamers on deck. We don't give a what? Artie, you all caught up. Welcome to the J.F.K. stream. Kevin J. Brill, James Jackson. You all caught up. Long gamers, let's make the goal. Let's make the goal. Turbulence in the chat. All green, everything. You all caught up.
I'm gonna put that on my Bandcamp. You guys want that on the Bandcamp? If I put that on the Bandcamp, I want to sell at least 50 of them. I'm gonna put it up for $10. I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna put it up for 10, a single for 10, because they take a cut. So I make $7, right? And I could give some money to Loco. And let me try to sell 50 of them. Sell 50. Give a couple bucks for Loco. He's been coming to the studio, laying it down. Adi Ortiz, what is going on with you? Huh? You don't know Marty? You all caught up, Adi?
What do you mean you don't know Marty? You don't know Marty? You used to date your niece, man.
I didn't realize how fire that shit was. I made that shit at
That's just fire.
I made that like at 3:30 in the morning one night. No clue who he. Now, you're the boy who cried wolf. You do know that, right? You don't know. You have no clue who he is. None. No clue. You never. Let's ask another question. When's the last time you talked to Kerry Ann? You said the kids love you. When's the last time you talked to Kerry Ann? What's up, Miss 808? When's the last time you talked to Kerry Ann? My dude. No, sir. Adi, man, you a one hip dude for your age, man, huh? You're hip. You're hip, man. You should come out to a hip hop show with me, man, or something. I want to hang with you, Adi. When I get to Boston, can me and you meet up and get a coffee? Because if I meet up with you and we get a coffee, I will be able to tell if you did this or you didn't do this, or if you had anything to do with it. And that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? Now, if you did have something to do with this, Adi, I'm just hypothetically saying, do you think if me and you met in person, you could get it over my eyes? You think that you could slip it by me? Think about that before you ask to get before we go get a coffee.
Yeah,
but
before you throw up a fucking 2-word answer.
And I mean that with all due respect. I would never. This is no violent shit, nothing like that, Adi, man. I'm not into that. I legit would have a coffee with you. But if you're gonna sit there and lie to my face, I don't know if that's a good idea as far as me having an opinion about you. Because, like I said, right now we know you're a liar, but I don't know if you killed Janet, and I know that's a touchy subject for you, and it is touchy because even saying them words is sad. R.I.P. Janet Downing. What happened to Janet was horrible. I doubled down on that. This is not a fucking game. This is your life. It's not my life. But you did lie in front of all of us. All the long gamers, you did lie. You did that. We didn't do that. You did. So, like I said, we know you're a liar. You're guilty of that. I don't know if you're guilty of any crime. But I'm just saying, if we met up and if that was the case, hypotheticals in the hypothetical world, do you think that you could lie to me and get away with it? It's just a question. Well, Kev, for that matter.
Yeah, you want to meet up for coffee? We could meet at fucking Petco.
Why Petco?
Go check out some cats.
Maybe get
check out
some
the puppies.
kitty litter.
Did he answer the question though? Adi.
That Adi is the best Adi ever, kid.
Adi. You gonna answer the question or what? When was the last time you talked to Carrie Ann?
You want to call us, Adi? The phone lines are open. Come on, jump in. Jump right in, Adi. Jump right in. Come on in.
And he lied about ever being arrested too. So.
Oh yeah, he lied about that too. And we don't even do you dirty that bad. Norman Corey does that in the chat. We don't even kill you that bad on that. But that's a huge thing right there. Thanks for bringing that up. That slides under the radar sometimes. Miss 808 says the water is fine, Adi. Yeah.
Does Adi know how to swim?
I bet you he does. He's been swimming for 30 years against the current. Wow, this show turned interesting. Just hanging on the porch.
Yeah. Well, hey, sometimes that's what you got to do. You know? I mean, now he's going to fucking disappear, right?
What the duck with 5 J.F.K. memberships. What the duck, all green every day.
Static selector.
Yeah, we all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on me. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on me.
How many times did he
He
delete
is,
his
right?
response? He's deleting responses?
No,
I don't
he's always creeping, man. This fucking dude. This dude's a creeper.
Well, you know what, guys? We came, we saw, we had a great show. I don't want to pollute it. I think it was good where it's at. You know,
Yeah.
as soon as we jump off, he'll be in the chat. He does it like clockwork, right? But
He's probably behind. I mean, he probably ain't caught up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's behind, and you know, he's probably responding to shit that we're talking about a couple minutes prior. You know?
yeah. No, he answered the question about Marty though, so he's not that far behind.
Yeah, but he never answered when's the last time you talked to Carrie Ann.
He doesn't want to answer that. He doesn't want to answer that because that says a lot. Because you're saying you don't know him at all. What did he say? He said he never met him, right? I don't know him at all. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe. Yeah, I find that hard to believe with Carrie Ann. And if he talked to Carrie Ann,
Marty meant,
well, it's
you know,
been
Marty,
hold on. He answered. It's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years, Adi. Adi, why don't you come up on the panel?
Was he aware that she was assaulted?
That's a great question. Adi, 2 years ago, last year, October 2024, are you aware that she got stabbed? Are you aware that since you're so close with the kids, JFK, I don't know Marty, never heard of him. I mean, that's a crazy, that's what you said. You never heard of him. That's crazy. That's a crazy.
Marty knew him as the brother, Janet's brother.
Yeah.
That's what what Marty called you, Adi. Janet's brother.
Do you know that Carrie Ann got stabbed October of 2024? She got stabbed. Did you know that? It's true, he says. That he never heard of him. Thank you, Leslie and Neil. Appreciate you.
Put a number up for him to call in. See if he'll call up.
I mean, we heard she blew right through the money too.
Yeah.
Can you speak on that?
He's not going to call in. I mean, we could call him and he won't pick up. Remember, he picked up that one time and he said he can't talk right now. Adi, if we call you, will you call?
Someone else picked up, and then he's like, "It's not a good time right now, JFK."
Yeah, and R.I.P. to his niece. His niece just passed away, so he could be going through something. Adi, you don't want to talk to us, man? You're always in the chat, man, and it makes it so awkward that we got to go through the chat to talk to you. Just come on the stage and talk to us and have a fucking conversation. What's the big deal? If you did nothing wrong, what's the big deal? God damn. I almost just
God damn, you just smacked the fucking screen. God damn.
I almost broke my whole computer. What's the big
damn,
deal?
bro.
Damn, I also just lost my uncle yesterday.
God damn, bro.
Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I'm sorry to hear that for sure. But I'm just saying, if you did nothing wrong, can you guys still hear me? I didn't knock a cord out or nothing, did I?
No, I hear you. We hear you.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
Well, whatever. You know, I mean, hey, we reach out to him a little bit here and there. We give him a chance to speak. I'm sure, you know, as things unfold, and as this case starts to get really, you know, really looked at by, you know, some higher authorities and you know, and some experts and stuff like that. You know, what's going to happen is there's going to come a day when you're going to have to speak, Adi, you know, and you know, it's only a matter of time. And you know, JFK is right. We've been fair to Adi. I mean, yeah, you know, we might razz you. I might get up on the fucking screen and yell your fucking name.
Yeah.
All right, but you lied to us. You come up on the stage, you fucking talk some shit. You said, "Hey, I wanted to see how you guys were. I wanted to see how you rolled and how you're gonna roll with it."
He said when that day comes that he have to speak, he'll speak.
But what's the problem? What's the problem? Why not speak? You're in the chat though. Well, Kevin, will not today comes that I have to speak, I will speak. Well, Kev. He called you a clown too. I put that. Did you see?
Oh, really? What?
No,
Just
not
now?
not now. The other day he did. That's all right though. I mean,
Yeah, that's all right. You can call me a fucking clown.
I just don't understand. If you're in the chat all the time, why not just talk to us? You can control what you want to answer. I don't understand. Because you're not a court of law, I would think he was saying that. And all your people have been harassing me, texting me, messaging me. So no need for me to talk. Damn, it's like that. Have they? All my people? Like who? Let them know so we can stop them. Tell me who it is. So we could tell them to stop because we don't condone that shit. Let us know who you're talking about because we'll tell them right now to stop. If anybody's hitting Adi up and harassing him,
I texted him once and he blocked me. So
yeah, I mean, if anybody's doing that in this chat, Adi, I don't condone that. I just want to let you know. Well, with that being said, I go by the name of JFK.
I go by J Brown.
We'll see you guys next flight. Put your notifications on. You never know what we're going to do next. And check out my community page on my post. I'm going to be posting more there. We did a big post today about the mods, and we're going to post more. And you too, Adi, check out the post in the community section and come check me out and see what we got in store. Things are getting hot over here at the JFK channel. Trust and believe. Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love, people.
Peace.
You guys be safe, J.F.K. Kev.
Thank you, brother.
All right, people.
All juveniles charged with first or second degree murder be tried as adults.
Yeah. More publicly done so, because just like the videos you saw in court, second trial, it will be taken out of context, and I do not want another
We keep it going and flowing. We break it down, we keep it going and flowing.
Charlestown,
Malden.
we're in the North End.
Everyone is welcome, yes, yes. Fuckery Donuts now open. J.F.K, James Jackson. Fuckery Donuts now open. Yeah, night after night. Strike after strike. We got a full flight. Let's go. What type of donuts do you like? Jelly. My favorite. Lemon. Ooh,
We break it down, we keep it going and flowing. Welcome to the stream. Fuckery Donuts now open. Night after night. Strike after strike. We got a full flight. Let's go. What type of donuts do you like? Jelly. My favorite. Lemon. Ooh la la. Behave, buttercream, loving blueberry. It was all a dream. Oh, what about Boston cream? B-Town, let's go.
You had one word to describe Karen Reed. What would it be?
Resilient.
What about the underrated gem? Hold up, let me tell them again. If they not knowing. Come again. Yup. Fuckery Donuts now open. 3 donuts, yup. 6 donuts, like Julie. Yes. How about 12 donuts? A dozen for the fam. Keep the stream flowing. Everyone is welcome. Yes, yes. Fuckery Donuts now open. Long gamers. Let's go.
I'm sitting there. Say, wait a minute. I could tell he was kind of put a spin to his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Is this Higgins?
I feel like both of you had that same moment.
Yeah.
Right. Hold up. Let me tell them again. If they are not knowing, come again. Fuckery Donuts now open. 3 donuts, 6 donuts, like Julie. Yes. How about 12 donuts? Dozen for the fam, keep it the stream flowing. Everyone is welcome. Yes, yes.
Sit here and go, I can't believe that he's still gone.
It's crazy. Sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss, too.
Long gamers.
Let me say that again. So in 30 years, it was the first time you heard about a cat, correct?
Right.
30 years, it was the first time you heard that Paul wore high heels and Janet's
Yes.
dress, right?
I never
And in
heard
30
that.
In 30 years, it was the first time you heard Carrie Ann call Carol?
I've never heard that either yet. Those are
God
3.
damn it. We working too on this.
They try to cancel us, say we were too good. Nothing good happens after midnight. Swim good. Swim good. Ooh, I pray for my enemies. Ooh, swim good. J.F.K. Swim good. Tonight we love our enemies. Got the world on our shoulders. Forget who you pretend to be. We got your back. We are each other's crutches. Never see you drown. You gotta get up, get in, and swim, swim good. La la, swim good. Ooh. They try to cancel us. Say we were too hood. Nothing good happens after midnight. Swim good. Swim good. Ooh, I pray for my enemies. Justice for John, okay. Let's swim. Come on, come on. Close your eyes, hold your breath. Life and death, we up against the current. We live with regret. Swim good. Oh, we swim good. Oh, we swim good. Oh, we swim good. Oh, we swim good. Oh, sink or swim. We do it for the hood, for the misunderstood, for the ones who can't. We all in. We all we got. Long gamers. We we all we got. Swim good, swim good. J.F.K. We swim good. Tonight we love.
What you say, Addie? Eddie ain't going nowhere?
Lost in a dream, don't know which way to go. If you were all that you seem, then baby I'm moving way too slow. I've been a fool before, wouldn't like to get my love caught in the slamming door. How about some information?
Hello. Barrels. What's up, bro? I haven't heard from you today. Hey. Barrels, I was asking you, did Eddie O'Brien kill Janet Downing?
Absolutely not.
Is Addie Ortiz a truthful person?
Absolutely not.
Thank you, Barrels. We can always count on you. That was Officer Barrels, Addie Ortiz. If you don't know who he is, he's the most honest cop in Massachusetts. Would you believe it?
Status selected.